Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War stream. Today, of course, the main objective we're going to be doing is getting, leveling, and just using in general the new hero class that just came into the game. It's a little interesting. It's not going to be anything too high up there. It's definitely above average and it has the situations where it'll be used, though it's not too often. It's mainly just a stun option that has really good skull mitigation. The biggest thing holding it back mainly is its trees. Its trees aren't really too good. They aren't awful, but it's missing half mana start and it doesn't have, well, that's basically the main thing it's missing. Basically this half mana start. Any hero class that ever doesn't have half mana start, it's always very situational on if it's actually worth it or not. But anyways, let's go and actually go unlock it. Still haven't done that yet. So go get all those in there. Class quest. After the defeat of Emperor, she doesn't even say Corvash. There is much unrest here in the Athasa. Oh? The Warpriest of Anu, the imperial deity, are in decline. Not good. Could you help them rebuild their order if I can? Perhaps I can help too. Very well. Help the poor by protecting them. Oh, that sounds good. Do we just use key team? Let's just use key team. Actually, no, that's not what we use against weaker stuff. Let's go use standard explorer team. Oh, it's already set to standard explorer team. Nice. Except we're not going to have half mana start for the hero, which will make it a little bit slower, but should be able to just one-shot sunbird it, so it shouldn't matter. But we'll go for the firebomb. Oh, also I did set up the controller. Let me go use that. We'll be doing a lot of explore, so I did want to set up the controller because it is going to save us a lot of time. It is going to save us a very high amount of time. Find medicine for the wounded. Why is there a clarion leech in this battle? It's a bit of a weird thing to have included. I think that's the first instance of something in the underworld being in the overworld. Other than PvP and other stuff, but you know what I mean. Like actual in like quest lines. Bring some raiders to justice. I didn't realize that's canon. Apparently the stuff from the underworld is reaching over to the main world. I wonder if Surian has a canon response to this. I should go ask him that later. Next Q&A. I have no clue what next Q&A is, but I need to remember to ask him that. It's such a trivial bit of information, but I'm kind of curious now. Anyways, where were we? That would also explain why all 4 of the Cinemirage things are here as well. Okay, well, let's kill all that up. And that's that. Hero class achieved. Pretty easy. I think that should do it. Oh? The faith of the people is restored in the Order of Anu. That's good. And the Order's pride in itself is restored too. Excellent. I think they will call you one of their own. A true war priest. Why did I keep going with a bunch of priests? We have like 3 priests now. We have Rune Priest, we have War Priest, and we have Priest. Anyways, let's go and do War Priest stuff. So hero, class. Whoa, Arf just happened to that class menu for a second. Whoa. War Priest, and let's go get this thing leveled. But yeah, Warpriest. First things first, let's get this thing leveled. As far as its traits, it has ridiculously good traits. It has a 40% score reduction and has a 50% chance to stun a random enemy at the start of every turn. So basically, it's an alternative Corvash as far as stunning is concerned, and it has skull mitigation, which only one other hero class really has properly, and that is Dragon Knight. It's basically just an alternative version, Dragon Guard, I mean. But it's basically just an alternative Dragon Guard. I believe it counts as a Rashka. Well, let's go level it. That'll tell us immediately. Let's see, level. Why am I doing that? We just click the one button and get it there. But leveled, boom, boom. And I lied. It's actually a human. That doesn't make any sense. Why is that a human if it says Rashka over here? Wait, hold up. Oh no, never mind. Why did I think that said Rashka? It's early in the morning. I mean, never mind. He has blessed or revered now, whatever you call it. They ended up changing blessed to revered and cursed to accursed. because they added Cursed and Blessed as actual effects now. But yeah, this is actually just what Blessed was. It gives all allies 2 random skill points. That's not too bad. Okay. Yeah, his traits are amazing. Problem is his talent tree, not so much. He has Light, which isn't too bad because it does gain a lot of life. You could also get Light Storm off of it. Unfortunately, Morale is basically useless. There's not a single thing that really gets used under Morale for the most part. The only real exception to that is 5 attack in PvP. But you already have the 4 attack over here, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. And yeah, this entire tree is just so bad. Like, there's almost no reason to even get this thing up. I guess maybe 470 just to get the 1 extra mana or that really small mana start. But most of this tree is pure useless. Like, the only thing it really gets that is not awful is 2 life every extra turn. And that is pretty much it. It is only really used for its traits, and that's it. You can keep this thing at level 0, and it would still be almost the exact same thing. But, yeah, it still has that stun into tanking combination. I believe it also has one that can start with barrier, even though it doesn't have perpetual barrier. Oh no, I'm thinking of the defend tree, not the morale. My bad. Morale's like the offensive version of that tree. But, yeah, it just does not have much, that's for sure. Well, we'll give it a shot. Start getting this thing leveled. If nothing else, start on the class event. I think I'm just doing free battles for once and not actually buying any packs. I don't think I've ever done that for a weekend-long event. But I probably should, because it's the same reward as always is. It's not like it's any higher. It's just a newer hero class, but we can get more EXP just from doing Explore. But anyways, as far as a team, we are restricted to humans, which does give us quite a bit of an option compared to if it was restricted to Rashka, as this place does have a decent amount of humans. Unfortunately, some of the best troops in this in this kingdom, aside from Divine and Ishbala and Korvash, are all not human. So we don't have too many choices. I guess in theory, just doing Korvash spam might end up being our best bet then. Will be a little counterproductive since we're using it with a stunning hero class, but it would still kind of work. Let's see, we have Falconer, so we could feed red if we wanted to. So I guess that's the game plan then, like that, 2 Korvashes, and actually, do you have a link? You do. You know what? We're going 3 Falconers. Falconer, Dawnbringer. We're going for it, at least initially. Okay, we'll go with that, and then just go all in. Probably, yeah, that banner. Go for that. All in on red with a little bit of yellow. And, yeah, let's get these earlier battles done. This hero class is mostly a first slot hero class. There's almost no slot you would ever bother using this other than first. You'd basically use this hero class like you used to use Korvash pre-nerf. Except you get to use any weapon instead of being restricted to his ability. But it basically is pre-nerf Korvash. Not exactly, because it doesn't stun as much as a Korvash would. But that's funny. We're going to be gaining so many levels, because normally I buy those packs to gain some levels initially. But now we're going to gain so many levels because just doing one battle gains us a level. Another one's going to gain us a level. Normally we speed past those initial levels with buying the pack thingies. But, what was I mentioning? Yeah, this thing kind of is like a pre-nerf Korvash, kind of. Not as good as stunning, but Korvash used to have 50% skull mitigation. And with all the other perks that it has, it's basically going to be just as tanky, if not tankier, than what Korvash used to be. We got a Valraven. Yeah, this is pretty standard for what you would use if you didn't have any options. You basically just pick whatever has a link. You do the same thing for daily tasks, too. You pick whatever has a link within your restriction, and then you go and just build your best weapon into it that hits all enemies. In this case, Dawnbringer, and in this case, Falconer, giving us a bunch of extra red. You can use that strategy for pretty much anything that's quick battles within this game. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. Mainly daily tasks is the main other area that ends up using it. That strategy, where it's just one really good weapon with a bunch of links, because it's the quickest way to build around it. Of course, you would have to use unique troops, though, not the same one if you're doing dailies. This is not daily, so we can get away with just spamming the same one. Why don't you go do that? Oh, whoops. I took that thinking she would get mana immediately, but I forgot it's blocking yellow fail. Green Surge would be nice, since we can one turn right into a bunch of reds to feed the weapon. Also, how are our battles so low already? Where are all the Vow Ravens? I guess they do slightly reduce the Vow Raven rate on Friday events compared to others. Yet it still gives the exact same reward. I still don't understand that. Keep the Vow Raven rate the same, but make the rewards longer. This is the only game mode that doesn't give additional rewards, even though it's weekend long. All the other weekend long ones give... Oh no. Stream, what are you doing? Come back, stream. There we go. Sorry about that. Stream went down for a moment. But this is the only event that is weekend long that doesn't give additional loot, which doesn't make much sense. Also, hello everyone. I didn't even say my hellos yet. Hello Zeddicus. Hello JZG. Hello Danny. Hello Dragwall fan. Hello Cujo. Hello Paul. Hello Pone. Hello Michael. Hello Cameron. Hello Elite. Hello Adola. Hello Dennis. Hello Ofer. Hello Edge Ninja. Hello Analyst. Hello how do you say that? Vasily? And hello oh no. Hello Katerzina. And that's everyone. And hello everyone else. Welcome. Let's see. Sounds like you've got a cold? A little bit. I've been getting like a sniffly nose and stuff. It's just because the weather keeps getting from very warm to very cold over and over again. And it just gets my sinuses and everything going. Yeah, I was noticing that a little bit last night. It's probably going to be really noticeable today and tomorrow. And it'll go away after that, most likely. Just gotta drink plenty of water. Do you think Gems of War will ever get a last boss like Puzzle Quest did? I don't know exactly what you mean by that. The last boss in Puzzle Quest was pretty easy. Well, not if you were under-leveled. But if you had the right gear, you could easily like kill that out like effortlessly. But I don't know exactly what you mean like by that, like implementing that to Gems of War. Because it wouldn't be too much content, and to a degree, that's basically what Raids is. It's one really big unit that you have to kill. He even somewhat even looks like the final boss in Puzzle Quest. Not exactly, but kind of. A little bit of a stretch, or at least the first Puzzle Quest, anyways. Any other team for the Warpriest fights? Yes, you can go one Falconer into double Corvash, or even just building into a red weapon, Falconer, Corvash, anything. Alternatively, excuse me. Actually, there aren't too many alternatives. It's basically entire teams built around Hero, Falconer, Corvash. As Divine Ishbala doesn't really get to do much in the context of these, because what is really Divine here? Devoted, which is useless. Voice of Orpheus, which is arguably one of the worst mythics in the game, unless you're up against Silence. And that's it. Those are the only two divines in this entire kingdom, and neither of which are really relevant. So yeah, you're restricted basically just to these two troops, and I guess maybe just using her for a convert, if nothing else, since you won't really be able to use her final trait. But yeah, it's basically just keep spamming Corvash over and over and over again. Keep spamming weapon over and over and over again. And Falconer for the backup summons so you don't lose points. It's so funny when you stun yourself from hitting Titan. Oh yeah, we can actually hit stun ourselves whenever we hit a Titan. Yeah, I don't know who was saying this hero class would be super, super good. I already knew earlier that the trees were going to be somewhat bad, and yeah, that's still the case. It's still probably above average, just because of the lack of stun options currently in the game. Because right now, if you want a stunner, or at least prior to this hero class, your option was Corvash, and that's it. That's basically the full list. But now you can at least go use your hero for that, if nothing else. Which might be applicable for some Guild Wars stuff, I'm not sure. Simply because you could only really ever use a stunner on one day due to Corvash. Or at least on a defend perspective anyways. Man, this thing just does not gain much of a benefit from leveling up. And we'll definitely be covering the video today. You know, and ifs or buts. Because there's no point in getting it leveled. I do want to get the weapon. but we should easily be able to get that this stream. All I have to do is just spam Explorer once we finish out all of our free battles for this, and just spam Explorer until we get the weapon. And that's pretty much going to be the game plan. And then once we get the weapon, we'll hand out a redeem code, and then mess around with the weapon and hero class in general, however far we have it leveled by then. I think things get to about level 20-something by getting the weapon. Though then again, I guess it depends on how many battles you do, or where you do your battles. Because your battle could be worth 1 EXP or 2 EXP, it'd still give the exact same hero EXP, but a different amount of class EXP. Why did I not throw down first slot? I saw Valraven is like, oh, that needs to go down. But that doesn't really help us because it's being blocked by the thing in first. Oh, there we go. Okay, what do we need? None of this. Try for the blue there. Didn't really work out. Grab another blue. Not enough for full mana though. And then we can just cascade it into hopefully a yellow. Double blue. Why couldn't that have been double yellow? Let's take our red. Hit our kill. Should be able to run this to about the 3rd or 4th area without much of a hassle. What are we on now? The 3rd? Yeah, we're currently on the 3rd. Let me go grab our free XP. Get to level 8. We just shot up a bunch of levels right there. Let's go fight against the Corvash. Actually, this is the kingdom. This is Leonis Empire. That's funny. Except we're not allowed to use a Mirror or Mana Core. If we could, then we'd be a lot better off. Those are 2 of the other pretty good troops from this kingdom. What do we want here? I'll go just take a blue. Get our random stuns. I really wish it was more consistent than that 50% though. They're starting to add things that just have that 50% per turn, and most of them are pretty underwhelming. Phoenicia got it for burn, and that's super underwhelming. This thing got it for stun, and that's a little bit less underwhelming just because stun is nice. But, I don't know, still, it's only 50% chance. It's really, really inconsistent. So let's take a skull there. We'll throw a Corvash. We'll throw a Dawnbringer, and down it goes. Hello, Liamar. Hello, Envy Spartan. Welcome, welcome. Oh, we'll take our yellow. He'll skull us. It's not going to matter much. As long as it doesn't have stun on skull. Oh, I should have taken the red to yellow. Oh, well. Could have cascaded it. I'll throw a hit down, throw another hit down. Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize that either. We're actually getting boost ratio off of, We're getting boost ratio off of yellow, which is also pretty nice, because now we get 6 additional damage from these 3 Falconers. We're not just using it for the extra mana, but the 6 damage too. Almost forgot about that aspect. Okay, we'll take our blue down, get another Dawnbringer. That should be dead. If not, it's going to be a really easy follow-up cast. And we're out of battles, aren't we? Well, I guess we'll leave it there for now and just start leveling it up. But yeah, next order of business, level is like, go spam Explorer, probably in a purple kingdom, so we get the other thing done as well. And yeah, start getting this thing leveled. Let's see, what can we give it that's not awful? Let's see, 4 attack, 2 attack every time it gets hit. This isn't a staff, right? Oh, that reminds me, what's its weapon? I didn't actually check that earlier. Oh yeah, I did check this earlier on the Sporther thingy. But it's interesting. Drain up to 12 mana from an enemy and deal a bunch of damage to them. Create greens of, or create gems of that troop's mana color equal to the mana drained. So it's basically like Nyx and the other things, except it'll do a random color. But that, in theory, could end up feeding itself its own color. The only real problem with this weapon compared to the other ones, though it might have decent perks, but it has a 2 higher mana cost initially, and it only uses 1 color instead of 2. But yeah, this could potentially be pretty nice. Being able to get 12 gems onto the board of any color is decent. Ideally, it'd be of one that's already populated, but you don't really have any control over that. But yeah, it's not going to be an awful weapon. I wouldn't say it's one of the better ones, but, well, it is one of the better ones, but, you know, it's not one of the best weapons we've ever gotten from a hero class, but it's good enough that it would be used. So that's nice. And it's not brown for once. We actually got an okay weapon that isn't brown. But, okay, let's go and do a bunch of Explorer. So we could do this literally anywheres, and because of that, let's just see what our lowest trait stone is, I guess, and start farming that. I think we're still heading to 250 base, right? Yeah. I need to go do Zhejian, which I think I haven't done in the past just because they have a lot of weird extra turn stuff, but that delays the battles. But yeah, we're gonna hit 250 base this stream then. Let's go do that. We should easily get 6 within however long it takes us to get all that. We do not have any amount of mana start, unfortunately. But we do get the half mana, at least for Sunbird, off of Forest Guardian. And Firebomb into that should be enough to get us going. And, oops, what am I doing? Let me use the other hand to hotkey the controller. And we'll get done super quick. Yeah, we'll be stuck here for about an hour, I think, actually. But after we have the weapon, we'll hand out a code. I know, it could be a little bit quicker. Depends how quickly we input everything. Because we have to win here 250 times. Now, we could easily do upwards of... we can easily do 120 per hour, though. It's possible to reach up to about 200 per hour. Which means we could actually, yeah, get it done in about an hour. But we'll see. Depends how quickly we click on things. We'd have to win 4 times per minute to do that. A little bit higher. Well, actually, you can't really do much higher than that. 4 per minute is about the quickest you could ever get. Just because of loading screens. And the amount of time, by default, that everything takes. Even if you input everything perfectly and everything just works perfectly, I think 10 seconds per cycle is the quickest you could ever realistically get. And to consistently do that, it's more towards about 15 seconds every cycle. What level Horde or Crypt Keeper to out-level the last battle? I believe... well, it depends on your amount of level 5 kingdoms. But it is somewhere around level 200. You can actually do it with a little bit less than 200, but it depends on how much HP you have. So that's really dependent on how much HP you have. Like, if you have every single HP kingdom in the game, I think you need to get it to 190 something in order for it to be enough to survive the final battle. I was able to do it without having enough to survive the final battle, and some people have done it at 100 before as well. It's a lot harder, but it's possible. It comes down to pure luck if you can or can't. Now, then again, the entirety of it pretty much comes down to pure luck. Pretty much. Well, let's take that red there, grab all that, throw another thing down, and that's that. Have I tested if Delve gives more gold if you get greed money bags as soon as possible? Yes, it would. I don't know what you mean by that, though. Each room would give more gold, but each loot from the room would not. Like, the in-game gold would be higher, but the loot for the battle itself is not higher. But yeah, it's always, as far as treasure rooms are concerned, if it's a Cedric room, do it immediately. If it's any other treasure room, wait until the final battles to do the treasure rooms. But yeah, Cedric room is always best to take immediately. Whatever the path is to get to it as quickly as possible is the path you should take. And if there are 2 paths to reach it, just take whatever one is higher multiplier order. Oh, all maxed? Yeah, it's 190 something then. 190 something. If you have 12,000 Delve Renown and you have just all the HP from it, you should be it should be at level 190 something. I forget the exact level, but it's somewhere in the 190s. You have to have your crypt upgraded too in order to have enough HP to survive level 500 pure faction with the everything, or maybe the Lady Mirana. Because that's the only one that matters if it actually survives. Oh, speaking of a gnome, it's not a gnome event this week, but next week, 1 week from today, will be a vault event. If you guys want to farm that up, we definitely will be. And hopefully we'll get about as many vault keys as last time. We got like 13 vault keys. A lot of vault keys. I think it might have been the most we've ever gotten in a vault event. People have gotten like nearly hundreds before though. Definitely dozens upon dozens. Not sure if anyone has actually broken 100 in a single event. That would take a lot of luck and a lot of time. Yo, it is possible. With a gigantic amount of luck, you could in theory get like 5 keys per hour. Maybe even a little more. It's very unlikely, but it can happen. Yeah, you're almost there then, if it's at 170. Throw a Sunbird in there. Damn it. There we go. Oh, I was wondering why the lighting is so weird. Let me turn on the other light. That doesn't really help much, though. I still need better lighting. I'm using, like, super cheap lamps as my lighting system. And it doesn't help that there's a window there, though I can't really do much about that while living here. But, yeah, the window puts so much light on the right side, and then my left side just looks completely dark in comparison. That's also what that was at the beginning of the stream. Actually, it's still there. That light right over there is from the window. Hello, Charles. Welcome. You just got this game on PS4. Nice. It looks like you've got a long way to go. Very up. Oh, no problem. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We always are around every single day doing streams for this game, as well as every Friday. Well, we stream every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and at night. And we also stream Friday and Saturday mornings from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. around that time, which is what we're doing right now, Fridays and Saturdays. And it's mainly because new content comes in most Fridays, more often than not. Or if not new content, something to grind. Like next week we'll have the Vault event. Also, just as a disclaimer, PS4 is its own version. So you might want to consider playing it on PC and mobile. There are still plenty of people that play it on consoles, but do keep in mind both the console versions are their own independent versions. Only the mobile versions and the PC version are all cross-platform, but the two console versions are their own independent thing. Okay, we'll take our green, take our blue. Grab our explosion there. Should be enough to wipe if we would actually get full mana. Luckily it does all for Cascade. And it's killed out. Xbox here. Yeah, there's plenty of people that play on both the console versions. Some people just prefer playing on consoles. Like, I know when it comes out on Nintendo Switch, if it does come out on Nintendo Switch, I really hope it does. They've made hints at it, but they never, like, confirmed that they're going to. But it definitely seems like they want to. But if it ever does release on Nintendo Switch, I'd be playing it so much more on that platform. At least in my free time. Whenever I stream it, I'd still do it on PC. I can stream it just as easily on Switch. Or actually, I don't know. Maybe I will start streaming on Switch. The only problem with that is I wouldn't be able to use mouse and keyboard. So it'd actually be slower. So yeah, never mind. The only time when Switch would be faster than PC is the fact that you can use controller plus touchscreen, which is actually quicker than controller plus mouse. Not much quicker, but slightly quicker. But I'm pretty sure you could set up phones to do the same if you really had to. Or at least tablets, if nothing else. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting it day one on Switch. Even if it's not cross-platform, I'd play it on Switch. Though there's a good possibility it will actually be cross-platform. I think that's one of the reasons why it's been delayed so much. Is because they do want to try cross-platforming it with Switch. Because most of the games that are multiplayer on there are cross-platform. Like Brawlhalla, like what's that other really big game that came out recently for it? Not Fortnite. Warframe, if I'm not mistaken, is cross-platform to PC and everything off of the Switch. What is this team? There's 3 gnomes, yet none of them are real. It's such a tease. But if anyone has any questions or anything you want me to go over, just let me know. We're gonna be stuck here for about an hour. But it will save us a lot of gems. We're actually gonna save like 400 something gems by doing it this way. Because we're going to need to get it leveled anyways. This helps get it leveled some. And also we'll have 250 base arcanes by the end of this stream, which we haven't actually reached yet, surprisingly. I guess next goal is base 300. Though by the time we hit base 300, they're probably going to add some kind of feature that uses trait stones. They did mention this year they are going to be adding a trait stone sink of some kind. So whatever they sink, we will have plenty of trait stones for, that's for sure. And even if we don't, they are super easy to farm. Basically, exactly what we're doing right now is how you farm trait stones. Just keep spamming the quickest team you have into any explore battle where you actually need arcane from. And you can just do that from the arcane menu by simply clicking on one, and then it brings down a menu that has, if you just click on every single, it brings out a menu that has every single kingdom that has that arcane. I have most of them memorized, but it's pretty convenient for people that don't. And even if you do have it memorized, it's actually quicker just going that way if you're already in the menu. Definitely gotta go quick. Gotta save all that time. Every second counts when we're doing something like Explore or something. Just because the battle duration is so ridiculously small that even wasting a second is a lot of time. Also, if nothing else, this is also one of the best ways to level your hero. I forget if we have the extra 100%. I believe we do. Which is nice, because that means we'll probably gain a couple levels over the course of this weekend then. Let me see. We're currently sitting at 1382, so that means we might be able to hit 1384 or 1385. We should probably start grinding to 1400. Okay. Come on, loading screen. You got this. What am I looking for? I'm looking for 100% bonus. Nice, okay. We do have that weird 100% bonus constantly from PvP. Oh yeah, duh, we're also getting the event done. Not directly, because this kingdom doesn't have too many purples, but hey, it still has purples that come up here and there. Oh yeah, Xenos is really, really, really annoying to get. He's not the absolute hardest thing in the game to get. He's probably like 3rd or 4th. But he is required for an achievement. He's actually the hardest troop to obtain that's required for an achievement specifically. Really, the only reason you ever get him, though, is for that achievement. There is no actual reason to own a Xenos. He is very, 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 very useless, and he's associated with no kingdom as well. The only reason you craft him is because he's required for, well, just completionist purposes, but also for an achievement. And that's literally the only reason you ever craft him. Once you craft him, you never actually use him in a team. But if you think he costs a lot of souls, wait till you need to go get Dawnbringer. Dawnbringer is about 4 times more expensive soul-wise than Xenos, because it requires 1.3 million. 100,000 for each of the 3 components, and 1 million for Dawnbringer itself. And we might be getting new Dawnbringers this year, too. You know, not literally Dawnbringer, but mythic weapons that actually use 3 colors. They might finally be doing that this year. They mentioned it in the past, but I think this is finally the year that they start doing it every few months, like they mentioned a while back. And if they do start doing that, that's going to be a really huge soul sink. 1.3 million souls every few months. That'll give some choice other than just go into Dawnbringer. Right now, that's the only real proper thing that souls get synced into. And then if you got that, you pretty much have nothing else once you get all troops leveled in Dawnbringer. There's still some stuff in Soulforge that you need souls for, but it is a very, very minimal amount. Yeah, some people do use Xenos. It does get up to one-shot range eventually, but I don't know, it's just really bad for the most part. He's also one of the only few multi-summons in the game that's capable of summoning multiple troops that doesn't have a 100% chance. I don't know why. There's so many troops that have a 100% chance of doing it, yet for whatever reason they added a condition to the highest rarity one. That there are like ultra rares that can multi-summon, or at least epics that can multi-summon, that have a 100% chance of doing so. Can you defeat a boss without using gems to buy sigils? Yes. If you want to just get the loot from your guild, and you don't actually want to do any of the bosses or anything, you can do it with just the free battles. You get 4 per day, and you only need to get done 10 battles. So that should be pretty easy. You get 4 per day over 7 days, that's 28. So, yeah, you need to win 10 times within 28 battles. Even at 50% win rate, you would still win all of them. And the battles are pretty low stats. Even a level 50 or 100 player most of the time can take it out as long as it has some okay troops. But yes, it is very easy to reach the point where you start gaining the rewards. Because Raid is a bit different than Invasions in that it is required to do the first 10 battles in order to get any loot. In Invasions, you can do literally nothing and still get loot. But for Raids, you do actually have to do the first 10 battles up to the point where you get to the boss. But yeah, it is technically possible because of that to get all loot without ever killing a single boss. It'd be very unlikely that you would be in a guild that would let you do that, but it is technically possible. Yes, it is possible to get all unlocks without ever killing the boss, but it would be very, very unlikely that you would ever find a guild that would let you do that within it. And if you're talking about camping a certain level, people do that, but you would have to do it at a much higher level than the very first one. Because the amount of points you get is based on damage dealt, not bosses killed. Feud, I explain more about delves again. You're watching some of the older videos right now, and your horde is level 80 and quality 10-10. Should you continue? Yes. Well, yes and no. You should make sure you get every single faction to level 10 quality first. So once you have every single faction to level 10 quality, you then go back and get the more important ones, or whatever ones you're working on, to level 100. You don't really go any further than 100. There's very little need to unless you're doing level 500 pure faction. That's the only time you should ever bother going to 500. I mean, that's the only time you should ever go above level 100 horde. Because anything beyond 100 no longer gives you any extra renown, which is the reason why you stop. You still gain stats, but it starts getting pretty expensive from there. I think generally it costs us about 3 million gold, and that's using better treasures. It would cost us way more if we didn't. But it costs us about, on average, I think about 3 million gold using better treasures, like the highest 3 treasures, to get from level 100 to 200. And that easily costs like upwards of 10 million if using not as good treasures, like the ultra rare ones and stuff. Does it make sense to use a delve only team when doing delves? No. You should never just spam a delve only team. The strategy is you do a bunch of battles normally, and then once you're to the point where you feel like your delve team has reached the final point where it could really win easily, you then bring out the delve team to try winning a few times. Normally that area is around 100, 150, or if you really feel like you can do decent with it, 200. But generally it doesn't go too much further than that. Anything beyond 200 starts to get ridiculously hard. Really, actually anything even at 150 can sometimes be hard. Even 100, possibly, depending on stats. But, yeah, I would say try doing 100 first, or even just try doing 50 first, depending on what your stats actually are. If that seems really easy, then bringing it back out at 100. And then if that still seems easy, maybe bring it out at 150. But I wouldn't really go too much further than that. But yeah, don't use Pure Faction for every battle. Pure Faction is rather underwhelming in every single kingdom for the most part. For a faction, I mean. The only location where it's not underwhelming is Sea of Sorrows. Actually isn't too bad. I'm not Sea of Sorrows, my bad. What's it called? All Seeing Eye is the only faction where the unique 4 troops from it are actually not horrible. Though it will be a mirror battle for the final battle. And that's the other problem that they normally have. If you use Pure Faction, you're basically just doing a almost version of a mirror battle most of the times. And if they have more stats than you, they'll just by default have an advantage. Advice on the class event team. We are currently using a Dawnbringer into 3 Falconers, which is the most effective thing that I've been using so far for it. Alternatively, you can use basically any team that combines hero using a weapon, ideally an AoE related one, or Mang, with Corvash and Falconer. That's basically the main premise of your team. Is ideally red weapon, so like Mang or something, followed by Corvash, followed by Falconer, followed by whatever else you want to use as assisting troop, maybe a second Falconer or whatever else you want to put there. There's not too many options. It's basically just hero, Falconer, and Corvash. Most of the other options, other than maybe Divine Ishbala, are pretty much useless. And Divine Ishbala doesn't have any divines to synergize with. You would just be using her for her convert. Oh, you don't have Corvash either? Oh, whoops, that's not the way I meant to take that. Oh well. But if you don't have Corvash, just use Falconer then. Falconer into Mang. 3 Falconer into Mang into Titan hero classes would get it done. It might be a little bit slower for the earlier battles, but you can use any red AoE weapon for the earlier battles. Even something like Summer's Fury would work if you really had to. Which is the cheapest of the red AoE weapons. Or at least the easiest to obtain. I think you get it at like 35 red mastery or earlier. No, this is not Titan event this week, but you're allowed to use any hero class, and Titan's the best hero class. You would have to switch into it and then switch out though, which would cost gems, but which you might not necessarily want to do. Unless you already just had it set and you didn't bother switching. But it is technically the best option for the class event this week. It almost always is. Very rarely is the actual class worth using in its own class event. More often than not, it's just Corvash. I mean, more often than not, just Titan, I mean. Also, can we see a Vault Key? We haven't seen a Vault Key for months outside of the actual event. Like, we've seen it plenty in the event, but outside of it, I don't know where they all went. I don't even know if it's still even possible to get a Vault Key outside of the event. I assume so, but I don't know, I haven't seen one. In ages. Actually, I don't think we've seen a Vault Key outside of an event since like the very first week that Vault Keys came out. Or, you know, that Gnomes came out in general. Well, starting next patch, we will be able to use a lot more than Titan. I don't know if they're getting rebalanced at all. We still don't even know if hero classes are getting rebalanced next patch or not. But even if they don't, we're going to have the ability to switch into any hero class we ever want for any team without having to pay 50 gems. So it's going to make a lot of hero classes viable, just because there are certain situations where you would use specific other hero classes other than Titan, but you normally wouldn't because Titan's just used for everything, whereas that other thing would just be too situational to bother setting as your hero class. But starting next patch, we'll actually be able to utilize those small little ones that actually get switched for specific teams. And you can even set it to your team, just like how you set banners. Am I a developer of this game? No, I'm not, though we do play it every single day. Just a very avid player of this game, but no, I have no correlation with the company itself. I have no correlation with 505 Games, nor do I have any correlation with Infinity Plus 2. Throw the firebomb down. Yeah, no Sunbird. Yeah, you got Arcane from it too, nice. I keep forgetting, we need to throw the firebomb first. There's a lot of these battles that have enough durability that they do survive it without it. If you still need to complete challenges and your soul farming team is unfortunately Warlock, Valkyrie, Warlock, Warlock, do you think this that is more time efficient for farming, or just do arena? Probably just do arena. Though you would want to get those challenges done eventually. But you'd probably want to wait until you have Dragon Soul before you do challenges. At minimum, you'd want to have Dragon Soul triple Warlock if you're going to be running all challenges. Or some kind of team similar to that. But yeah, I would just stick with arena. I have mentioned in the past, like, triple Warlock Valkyrie. But compared to the current state of arena, it's, especially since arena might even be buffed this year, it's much better just to do arena. It could be later this year, though. They did confirm there's a buff coming to arena and treasure hunt, some kind of rework to them. We don't know what, but we have no clue when it's coming either. So it could be, who knows, maybe in a few months, or it could be like November of this year. But it is almost guaranteed coming this year at some point. Yeah, this game's meta changes about every 3 to 6 months or so. Quite drastically. And oddly enough, the main thing that's probably going to be changing the meta in the very near future is what happened this patch. Like, it barely even was noticeable what happened this patch, but we did get 3 new stats effects, all of which are huge. But, like, almost nothing uses it. There's not a single troop in the entire game that can place any of those 3 effects at 100% rate. So it's like it doesn't even exist at the moment. But we did get Blessed, Cursed, and Bleed, all 3 of which are pretty noteworthy. Not so much Blessed, because Blessed is kind of already exists in a way, because Impervious is almost Blessed already. But it's still nice. It makes things that don't normally have it. But the Cursed and Bleed, particularly Bleed, are the noteworthy ones that came in this patch that can make quite a bit of difference. Cursed is somewhat relevant, because if the enemy has absolutely no cleanse at all, you can just curse spam into like Death Mark spam and just kill them out that way. And you're going to have a really high chance of killing them out over a set amount of time. But other than that, Bleed's the main one. 1 damage, anywhere from 1 to 10 damage per turn is a lot of damage to get. And it's all true damage. And you can stack that with other true damage like Weaver and stuff, and it's pretty nice. Next faction's bringing it in a few weeks. But we're only getting a few options. And we until we get like a really good Bleeding Legend or Bleeding Mythic, I don't know if it's really going to be too useful. We are getting a Bleeding Legend, but I believe it was just kind of average, the one we're getting from the faction, which makes sense. Normally faction stuff isn't like too over the top, but it's still going to be a bunch of Bleed options if nothing else. You think Bleed is stupid? I don't know. It's kind of what I wish Poison was to begin with. It was actually something that was suggested to them a long time back, but instead they basically just made it into Bleed instead of Poison. But there was always suggestions in the past to make Poison stack to some degree. And that's basically what they did with Bleed. They just took those suggestions from Poison ages back, like years back, and they just applied it to a new effect of Bleed instead. Yeah, it is a little bit annoying having a lot of stats effects, but there aren't too many teams that spam like excessive amount of stats effects. While there are a lot of them, most teams only run like 2 or 3. Unless you're specifically running something that can do random stats effects, you're not normally going to have like the whole clutter onto enemies. But yeah, if you're using something like Magnus or Dragonet or other things that can spam a bunch of different ones, then yes, it can make the screen very, very cluttered. But I don't know, most of the newer ones are a little bit obvious. I think Cursed's about the only one that can somewhat be confused with some of the other ones. But because if you had like Death Mark and Disease on something, it almost looks like it's cursed as well. But Bleed is very obvious if something is bled. Ooh, 500 glory, nice. And Blessed is also pretty kind of obvious. It has those like rays. It's unique. It does look somewhat like Barrier, but it's distinct enough that it can be seen. I think Disease and Cursed in general are the 2 biggest verdicts of are they actually on the troop or not, because it can be very hard to actually tell when they have a bunch of other effects on top of them. If you go under that one menu, it does show it, but it doesn't have a nice little menu where you can just scroll down like what Hero has, where you can see all the perks and everything. I wish they would have that for stats effects and stuff too. Like on these pages, they only show 2 and then it keeps cycling through a bunch of other ones. Okay, I don't have any troop that has it. Do you have it? No. I don't have any troop that has multiple. But if they have multiple, it just shows 2 and then it keeps cycling through other 2. I wish it was those pages were set up more like this, where you just scroll through it. Be a lot more convenient than it just phasing through a bunch of screens. Because you'd also be able to see a lot easier what stats effects are actually on the troop that way too. Because whenever anything has a lot of stats effects, it takes forever for it to actually scroll through all of them. It'll take you like 5 to 10 seconds just to be able to figure out what they all are. Just by going from that screen and not looking at the troop. Did I say minutes? I meant seconds. 5 to 10 seconds. Definitely not 5 to 10 minutes. Hello, Rainbow Dash. Welcome. You haven't played for a month? You feel so lost? Nothing much has happened in a month. Well, we did get a patch in early December that you might not have seen. But the only thing that really brought was Blessed, Cursed, and... No, wait. Did that patch even bring Blessed, Cursed, and all that? Or was that the previous one? No, I think it was that one. Now I'm starting to forget what patches are bringing what. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure the only thing that really did was Blessed, Cursed, and, Bleed. There are a few other things that happened, too, but it was mostly just small guild improvements and stuff. It wasn't anything too major. And even these 3 stats effects I'm talking about, they're still irrelevant even in the current state of the game. The only things that even use them are like Divinia, Magnus, Dragonette, and as far as viable troops, it's pretty much the whole list. And I guess that new legend from the most recent kingdom. Faction, I mean. From, now I'm forgetting faction names too. Wait, what's it called? I know it. Warrens. From the Warrens, the most recent faction that came out. That ends up bringing in that legend that can do both those 2 stats effects. Randomly, though, of course. But it does random positive stats effects and random negatives that both can be of the 3 new ones. So grab that, grab all that, get another hit down. Go down to Firebomb. I should have done it first. You got a quicker kill. Yeah, Blessed does make it so you can't really run Devour against it. Blessed is immune to all, everything that Impervious has, plus Mana Drain immunity. Haven't I forgotten to switch to Warpriest? No, this is Warpriest. We didn't forget. You can tell because we don't have a half mana start. Because I would always be using pretty much a half mana start hero class otherwise. Generally, if a hero class doesn't have half mana start, it's, not bad, but it's most likely not good. Or at least not as good as it could be. This hero class still has its situations where it would be used, but it's not often. Especially since it's a human. That's kind of okay, though. It does kind of close the gap for some human teams. And we do have half mana start on humans as well. There is a troop that does give half mana to all humans. Problem is, there's not really much synergy between humans. And while they have slightly more synergy now because of hero, that doesn't really change too much. Well, it's used for a few things. It's used for some Guild War days to have a stun option. It's used in general as a stun option if you don't want to run Corvash and you want to run some kind of hero weapon with it instead while still having stun. It's used for pure human teams if you're bothering to run 4 times humans. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's basically everything it's used for. More often than not, you'd probably use Dragon Guard if you actually wanted a tank. If you wanted stun, you'd most likely just use Corvash. And yeah. But yeah, the biggest thing holding this hero class back is the lack of perks for the most part. It does not gain any particularly good perks that are really noteworthy as it levels. It just does not have good synergy with humans. Or it's not that it doesn't have good synergy, but its perks specifically don't have good synergy with humans. It itself has good synergy with it. But that's mainly because you can use any weapon on a human team. And the biggest thing that humans are normally missing is a good mana generator. That or a good damage source, depending on which way you want to run the team. I think the best team for it would probably be Alchemist, Moneylender, hero running a really big AoE weapon, like maybe Dawnbringer or something, and running that one troop that gives 50% mana start to all humans, that team would probably be, what's her name? Something Saint something is her name. But the 50% human start one. That would probably be the strongest team that you can actually use this thing with. Alchemist, Moneylender, Dawnbringer, the human 50% mana start troop. And then you just spam like a few Dawnbringers to win. It's not the greatest of teams, but it would get it done. Oh, 30,000 gold. That's not too bad. Yeah, Holy Saint Astra. I knew it was something Saint something. I got that part right. Just forgot what it was exactly. But yeah, Holy Saint Astra is her. It's the main synergy troop that makes this thing not useless. Still pretty useless, but less useless than it would be otherwise. Kind of like how you would almost always run Divine Ishbala with normal priest. Holy Saint Waifu. Hello, Gabrielle. Welcome. Yeah, we should be coming to the point where we almost have the weapon. We're definitely beyond the halfway point. How close we exactly are, not sure. But we should be about halfway. And this weapon isn't really that bad. It might even become meta in some things. It depends what the perks are. If it has like enchant self and like any amount of extra mana accumulation, it's probably going to be pretty good. It has 5 perks, so hopefully they're not bad. Oh, there she is, Holy Saint Astra. But yeah, that's her. She gives half mana start to all humans. Oh, she also enchants all humans. I forgot about that too. And that would enchant your hero, because your hero counts as a human when it's set to this, as long as you have it at level 20. Alright, there it is. Human hero. You mentioned Treasure Hunt rework earlier. What do you think the chance are of them adding forge items in there? Probably not likely, but we'll have to see. I don't know, the biggest thing I kind of want is Volkeys and Volts. If they can make like any change. That and just making it less, giving less of a penalty for converting resources upwards would also be nice. Because due to 4 times speed and how treasure scales to become less as you get it into bigger treasure, it basically becomes less valuable. There's almost no point in actually playing maps correctly. Basically the correct way of playing maps in the current state of the game is rush through them as quickly as possible, never going any further than green chests. Anything that's not that is getting you less resources. And that's definitely not the intended way that they really wanted people to play that game. But in the current state of the game, that's the best way of playing it from a resource perspective. Assuming you have more than 100 maps. They did mention something about Forge Scrolls, though. Not specifically like the Soul Forge items, but Soul Forge Scrolls specifically. They will be adding some kind of way in the future to be able to obtain them. It might just be a new game mode, though. Not sure. I think they said they're adding 1 new game mode this year. And the rest will just be revamps to already existing ones, probably. Like, of course, we already know Arena and Treasure Hunt are getting reworked. I think they're finally going to rework Guild Wars as well. It's something they've mentioned in the past but didn't get around to. I assumed in all the guild reworks that they were going to do it, but they didn't end up doing that last year. They also mentioned a PvP rework. That was something that was supposed to be late last year, but they didn't end up doing it, so that's probably going to be sometime this year. So this entire year, I don't know what other plans they have, but it seems like a lot of reworking of already existing content, which is nice, because it could definitely use it. It's always annoying when games end up just constantly pushing out more and more and more shiny content without ever like reworking all the other older stuff. And it does seem like this year they're gonna actually get around to reworking stuff instead of just constantly adding more. Because last year, that was almost the entirety of what they did. Just keep adding more and more and more. And some of it was really nice. But that's basically all it was, for the most part. Some fixes here and there, but mostly just adding content instead of fixing content. Though a lot of games do that these days. Oh, so hello, Starlight. Welcome. That's still pretty early. Some people go over level 1000 and still don't have a mythic. So having at 500 isn't too bad. Let's see. But yeah, that's pretty normal. What mythic was it? Oh, and is it worth saving up for a mythic from Forge instead of getting a good legendary if you're at 2k diamonds? Technically, it is always best to only craft mythics with diamonds if you're planning on doing, like, absolute 100% completion of this game, like if you really want to eventually obtain everything. But if you are just looking in the short term, if you don't currently own something like Dragon Soul or Yagway or something like that, some of, like, the really, really good legends, it is worth crafting them to a degree. But if you're doing 100% completion, like you eventually want to own every mythic in the game, you do only ever want to craft mythics out of diamonds. First one you'd want to go for is Infernus, then probably ssaszix for soul farming, and then you probably go into like Ketcherus, Worldbreaker, and then basically just into whatever ones currently use kingdoms to get them to 10 stars. Hello, Benjamin. Good morning. Oh, I didn't even realize that was a real soul gnome in that one battle. I didn't see how many souls we got. They keep getting so many fake gnomes, I'm not even noticing when we're getting real gnomes. Yeah, the last update of last year was just some of those fixes. They weren't even originally going to do an update, but then they decided to. Dude, that would have been kind of weird if they didn't do an update then, because they've actually done an update every single December throughout the entire history of this game. Always before the holidays. Because if they don't do it then they can't do it until like mid-January at the earliest. Speaking about mid-January, we actually are getting another update mid-January. Probably in about a week. We're getting the preview for it this Monday. And I haven't even gotten to see it yet either because there wasn't even a beta for it. It's a pretty small patch. One of the most noteworthy things it's bringing in is the no longer need to pay 50 gems anymore for hero class switches. I don't know why Januaries tend to be the notorious day or the notorious time for them to nerf like costs within the game, but for whatever reason it does seem like that. There's been many Januaries where they just go and specifically buff things for the players, which is kind of nice. I don't know why they always do it in January though, but it is just where it happens to fall most of the time. But yeah, we'll no longer have to pay 50 gems anymore for hero class switches. Something they mentioned in the past many times, but they finally coded it, and we'll be able to just set our hero classes basically like how we set banners. Hey, everything's going well on the East Coast. It's not hurricane season or anything like that, so all good. The damage I got from the previous hurricane is still there. Like, I still don't have a proper heating and cooling system anymore. took a few thousand in damages, and those damages were so low that insurance didn't cover it. But yeah, other than that, everything's been good. I still have had heat though. I just have a little heating unit. It costs like 2 or 3 times more in electricity than what the actual setup was, but it's still warm, so don't need to worry about that. Also, this winter has been just a little bit warmer than normal in general, so it's also been nice. And I'm living in an area where it's just naturally warmer too, so I haven't been needing it as much. I do have it on right now though. Should probably turn it off soon. I don't even have the clicker by me. Oh yes, I do. Maybe I should turn it off right now. It will go. There we go. Sometimes it doesn't like clicking through the green screen. Good, not good, but good. Yep, that's pretty much how things always are. Hello, Carlo. Welcome. You got your first mythic at 97. I've actually, on every single account I have ever made since mythics have been available, I've actually gotten a mythic on every single one of them consistently before level 100. Some of them I've even gotten multiple mythics on before level 100. And even with small amount of keys, I've done it on some of them. Though some of them was just because I had a lot of keys. It really just comes down to how many keys you really open, though. The more keys, the more chances. The level has really no effect on it. You could be level 50 and open thousands of keys, so you could also be level 500 and just open like a few dozen because you're just power leveling through. Level's not really a good indicator of that. It is possible to gain EXP way quicker than actual progress on the account if you're actually just farming and playing the entire time. And there are specific things that give more EXP than other things. Like, for example, Explore spam right now. This doesn't really give us much in regard to resources, or at least not ones that would actually help get us troops. But it does give us a lot of EXP because of how quickly we win. We're gaining like 4 times more XP doing this than we would from PvP. Not because it's giving more EXP per battle, but because we're just winning more. As far as EXP is concerned, it's basically just how many troops you kill. The amount of EXP you get per battle is based on the amount of troops you killed multiplied by all your EXP multipliers. So if you're killing 4, you're getting 4 troops worth of EXP. If you kill 5, 5 troops worth of EXP, so on and so forth. So if we're killing 12 troops over the course of 3 battles, that's 3 times more EXP than if we were just to win 1 battle where we kill 4 things. And it doesn't matter how difficult it is. They could have 1 stat or they could have 1,000 and they'll still give the same amount of EXP. Their level and nothing about them has any correlation to the amount of EXP they give. They'll give the same amount regardless. We keep getting gold. Wish we could at least get bigger stacks like earlier. That nice 30,000. Still kind of useless, but definitely better than 2,500. New weapon has cleanse 1 mana to all allies, barrier yellow to allies. That's actually pretty good then. Oh yeah, I remember now. Duh, we already knew that because Salty showed it on Monday. Plus, even if she didn't, we can check the files. But yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, it's not too bad then. It's not too bad at all. Also, with that being said, how close are we? We should be further than half. But it should be not much further. It should be like 130 or so. Or 140. If it'll ever load. It's 3 AM in Australia at the moment. Needed a video to fall asleep to. Oh no, is my voice that soothing? Probably not, but hopefully I can assist. Yeah, what we're doing right now is pretty repetitive, unfortunately. But we gotta do it for the weapon, and for the hero class leveling. If it'll ever load. Oh no, loading screen. We don't even have audio to go with the loading screen. There's a loading screen doing loading screen things. I wish they would fix this. They fixed the troop menu pretty well, but now whenever you spam a lot of battles and try going back to the main menu, it still has this lag. And it's just as bad as what the troop menu lag was. So even they fixed the troop menu lag, it still exists. It's just in a different location now. And hopefully this will be fixed eventually too. This has always been an issue though. There's always been various bugs with, or just lag in general, with if you spam a lot of battles very quickly, and then you leave to do anything. It always does this like gigantic lag. I'm actually just going to close the game and restart at this point. Normally after you do a lot of really quick wins, you should pretty much always do that. Just because it makes the game run a little bit quicker. Keeps getting bugs down from all the battles. But yeah, let's go refresh this. And go get it back up again. Put this in the corner. Let it load. Come on. Come on. Hello? Where'd it go? It says it's already running. It's not already running! I have already closed it. Fine, I'll open it via Steam. I need to figure out what's up with my, toolbar version of it. Whenever I try opening it up in the toolbar, it sometimes says it's already running, even though it's not running. There we go. Now it should open up normally. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's see. What's our progress on the weapon? Oh, tribute as well. Oh, and event's done a little bit further, of course. Because we're killing a bunch of purple. Actually, event's almost done already. Just need those last little bit of event keys. Mail, we just got our level 100 reward. I mean, level 1000 plus. And what was the other thing I wanted to check? Hero. How far are we as far as progress is concerned? Boom. Yeah, we're almost there. We need 85 more wins is what we need. Right? Math. Correct. Right? Yeah. No. Yes. Wait, how does math work? Yeah, it's 85. It's 85. But, yeah, let's go get that. While we're here, let's go give our one little perk thing, I guess. It's not really that relevant. Actually, I guess it kind of is. A little bit extra life. It's kind of relevant for Sunbird, since that's 2 extra damage. Every single time it gets more life. But, anyways, yeah. 85 more wins is what we need. That can be done in about 20 minutes, or a little bit more than 20 minutes. 20 to 30. So, yeah, let's go get that done. Then we'll hand out a redeem code. I guess we'll keep doing Zejin just to make sure we get 250. I think we're already there, but let's guarantee we have that 250. And then we'll finally have 250 base arcanes for once. And that might actually be relevant whenever they do whatever they're doing with trade stones this year. Come on, get full mana. Move that over. What else do we want? Grab a purple. Was there any word about them adding arcane trade stones to the other delves? No, I've heard no word on it. There's a lot of small rebound stuff that needs to be done to delves. But, I don't know, they don't normally talk about it too much. I believe next Q&A is in the next month or so, though. Most recent one was at the beginning of December. Problem is the main developers are pretty hard to actually reach otherwise. Like, the development team itself isn't too hard to reach if you just contact support and mention stuff to them. But, like, the actual, like, lead developers of the game can sometimes be hard to reach. Yeah, Warren's is insanely good. It's not even in doubt that it's the best delve in the game. Like, it's not even close. There's Warrens, then there's Crypts, then there's everything else. It's basically the tier list of farming delves. But Warrens is just absurdly better. Kind of like how kind of like how Titan is just better than every other hero class. Warrens is just exponentially better than any other delve. You started doing PvP around the same time as you started Explore. It is incredibly slow to win against Firebomb teams. Firebomb teams normally take around 30 seconds to a minute, more often than not. Which, yeah, is quite a bit slower. Or maybe not a minute, but it takes like 25 seconds to 40 seconds normally, in that ballpark. But even that's about twice as slow as doing Explore spam. Explore can be won 3 times per minute pretty easily this late in the game. And it is possible to win a little bit quicker than 4 times per minute if you were to have perfect inputs and perfect luck. Like, if we could get this every single time, what we just did there, we would have about 4 wins per minute, as long as our inputs are there. Yeah, like stuff like that. That's easily getting us 4 wins per minute. About 15 seconds per cycle or so. Of course, it doesn't consistently maintain that the entire time. I think it's pretty close. So there's times like this where it slows down a lot. Yep, come on. Especially if you don't get a kill with Sunbird. Also, normally if you don't have enough damage to kill with Sunbird, you gotta go Sunbird Rowayne 2, which does slow it down to about a 2.5, or anywhere from a 2 to a 3. You do need a lot of HP on Sunbird to actually be able to do that. Like one-shotting the entirety of Explorer on normal difficulty. I bet they keep adding more and more HP stats that are possible, so it's becoming easier over time to reach that threshold. Yeah, you got Celestial. This is actually technically the best way in the entire game to get Celestials too. Just spamming Explorer, so if you've been needing any, that's the best way of getting them. It doesn't say it anywhere in the game anymore for whatever reason, but Explorer does have a higher drop rate of higher rarity trait stones than anywhere else in the game. It has a higher rate of Runics, Arcanes, and Celestials. You're still getting the same amount, but it's higher rarity. Yeah, that's not enough damage. I'm actually throwing Firebomb there, even though we don't need the mana, just because I believe we need the damage. Yes, Darkstone is a good place to get it done. I believe one of the better places is Kedar, especially if you're running like a true damage team, or just in general. But, yeah, any Purple Kingdom related kingdom is the best place to do it. The only reason I'm currently in Zhejian is our brown-green trait stone was our lowest trait stone. It might still be. I'm not sure. But that's the only reason why we're here. And literally no other reason other than that. But yeah, there's not as many purples in here. But that's not the reason why we're here. We're here more so for the trait stone than the... and that's it. That's basically it. Of course, the main purpose we're actually here, though, is to get the weapon. But as far as actual specific kingdom, the only reason we're specifically here is because of the trait stone. But there's still purples here. Very, very few, though. Probably like 1 every few battles. Really heavy on brown, though, that's for sure. Stats do not get higher. I meant Sunbird in Explore, not in PvP. Yeah, Sunbird in PvP does technically get weaker over time because the more stats that are in the game, the less overall damage you're really doing. Because, like you mentioned, if 1 HP comes into the game, the enemy's gaining 4 HP and you're only gaining 1 damage. But against Explorer, their stats never change. They're always the exact same. So the more HP you have, the more damage you'll just be doing in general. And it doesn't matter how much HP is in the game, it's not going to make them any stronger. Makes you stronger, but them the same. But yeah, over time, everything that's boost ratioed off of stats does technically get weaker in the context of PvP. It's one of the reasons why Gord's Avatar isn't really used that much anymore. When he first came out, there was a lot less armor, but still enough to make him really good, and you can just buff spam him. But now that there's higher armor, higher HP, and stuff like that, he's used quite a bit less. Still viable, but against actual PvP situations, he's not as good anymore. And he's still used for standard counters, like against pure Daemon teams, but who really runs pure Daemons these days? Not only is there not a pet for it, there's not a half mana start, and the synergy has been kind of lacking lately as far as new Daemon troops. There's still already some good existing synergy, but I don't know, nothing new has really come to make them good again. I thought Cinder Mirage might have some effect on that, but no, Cinder Mirage didn't really make much of a difference either. I think the biggest time for Daemons was when they were actually adding basically just Mythic Daemons. They ended up adding like 8 Daemons in a row or something. Like a really, really high amount. It almost seemed like every single Mythic in the entire game was going to be Daemon at one point. Just because of how many Daemon Mythics they did back to back. These days, excuse me. These days they love spamming Divine as far as Mythics are concerned though. It's one of the reasons why Divine Ishpala got nerfed. Because they keep adding so many good Divine Mythics. They should add team spots specifically for Guild War defenses. It has been suggested many times, but they have not implemented something like that yet, unfortunately. Would be nice if they did. Maybe if they finally do that Guild War work, it'll be something they add. Yeah, it would save 6 slots. And if they did the same thing for the actual invading side of it, it would save 12 slots. To a degree, I don't know if they want to do that, though. Because they do technically sell slots. Every VIP that you end up getting gives you another slot. And while you don't necessarily need them, they can be in handy. Especially since you do tend to, by default, waste 12 of your slots for Guild Wars. 6 for defend and 6 for invading. And that's assuming you're just setting 1 per color. Sometimes people like having 2 or 3 different ones as options for color days. Just as counters. Oh yeah, I never did the perk for 20. I forget if we got anything good from it. Probably not. Yeah, it's actually ridiculously expensive to have all slots. It is technically possible to have, I think like 40-something or 50-something slots. But you would need VIP 20. The cost of VIP 20 currently is almost $9,000. Even VIP 10 is absurd at like 790 or something. It's only really worth it up to about VIP 5. Anything beyond that's kind of questionable. And VIP 5 is 130. Okay, we should almost be done with the grind. Probably 10 minutes or less, then we'll have the redeem code. But, yeah, we're almost done. It saved us a lot of gems, though, and it was worth it. Plus, we finally got some more Explore farm in there. You need it for Hero XP and the Trade Stones eventually anyways. Yeah, we still got a ways to go on leveling this class. I'm probably not getting it too far, though. There really isn't much of a need to. Like, after this week, I probably won't be using it too much. Like, even after this weekend. If I need a stun option, I most likely will just go for Titan first slot or Corvash. And if I need a hero tanking option, I'd probably just go with Dragon Guard. That or, of course, Titan. Titan for everything. What color Guild War defense will new class be good? Anywhere where you could run a pure human team effectively. So I guess it depends on what version of pure human you're planning on running. Or at least partially pure human. But, I don't know. It really just depends on composition. On what color you'd bother putting it on. I guess try it on whatever color you currently set as your weakest team. And replace it with a pure human team of some kind. Keep in mind, Corvash is a human these days. So you can run something like a multi-stun team. Like Corvash, hero using something. Saints, whatever her name is. Forgot her name already again. Holy Saint something. But that gives half mana start on all humans. And then like one other troop. I guess technically brown and yellow days that would work best on. Because both of those days are really popular days to set. Both brown and yellow days are pretty popular days for Corvash 4 slot. Are popular days for Gorgulf the first slot. And Corvash is decent at countering Gorgulfa. Especially when you get his mana so quickly. Because he would start with 7 out of his 15 mana. Which means he would just need 8. So if you have a +2 to him, he could actually one-turn his mana. Yeah, I'll check in 4 minutes to see if we have enough battles. I think we're still going to be a little bit short at that point, but I do want to double check so we don't overshoot it. Couldn't matter that much, but I do want to check. Okay, well, let's take a skull there. Get a hit there, throw the Sunbird. He'll hit us a few times, all good. And dead. Okay, throw that down. Gonna have Sunbird. Oh, sorry, I missed that. You normally watch stream replays as it's normally really late when you stream for you. So you wanted to ask you, how do you cast spells so quickly? Oh, sorry. I don't know if you're still here. But we cast so quickly because of controller. We're currently just using a controller to hotkey the press. So whenever we click that, oops, wrong thing. Make sure we're actually on it first. But if we're on, if we just click this, and then click the confirmation button, which is supposed to be A, but for whatever reason it's bound to Y. I still haven't bothered rebinding it. But yeah, you just use a controller that has really any input method. As long as the game identifies it as a controller, it'll work. And then you simply just click that button. People have mentioned try doing the same with mouse, but I don't believe it's possible, just because you needed to distinguish between a controller and a mouse for it to actually work. And I believe if you hotkey it to your mouse, it might not work. But you can definitely do it with just any USB controller. There's plenty of them that are $25 or under. Yeah, we're just using mouse plus controller. Mouse for all movement, and which is quickest for most things, and then controller to confirm stuff where mouse isn't as good, either because of precise clicking or because it just takes longer. Okay, let's go see how far we've come. Let's backtrack, get some order. Okay. So, hero. Class, Warpriest, info. We need 32 more wins. Let's see. Create a light storm. I don't need that. 1 glory per PvP battle. Well, since we're farming EXP, let's go super farm EXP and get 10% extra on top of all the EXP we're already getting. Not really that much extra, but that is more than what we're getting now. Does a PS3 controller work? I have no clue. Probably. Haven't tried. The only controller I've tried on it so far is a Power A GameCube Nintendo Switch controller. It basically looks like a GameCube controller, but acts like a standard Nintendo Switch controller. But really, any USB controller would work, I would assume. Oh, I was hoping that would be enough damage. This does so little damage. That should still be enough to kill though, even though it is so little. There we go. Okay, 30 or less wins. Another one. Actually, I probably shouldn't even be keeping track. Let's just wait till 8 minutes from now, and then we'll double check. Because that should almost be enough. Maybe actually 9 minutes from now. Yeah, for Smash Ultimate, of course. Though you can use it for other games too. I just like the GameCube controller. Out of every single controller I've ever used, I've used the GameCube controller more than any other, which is just one of the reasons why I like using it. Because during my childhood, I'd had probably the most amount of free time during the GameCube era. So I've had a lot of time into GameCube. Even though I have 7,500 something hours into this game, I probably have more overall hours on GameCube. So I like just the GameCube controller layout. It works nicely. And this isn't even a GameCube controller per se. It's a standard USB controller. It doesn't even need an adapter or anything, which is really nice. It just looks like a GameCube controller and feels like a GameCube controller, but it's not actually one. Ah, Soul Gnome, nice. I thought that was a fake gnome for a second. So many fake gnomes in this kingdom for whatever reason. Hopefully gives us a vault key. Nope, just useless souls. For our gigantic soul stack that's at, like, what, 4 million these days? 3 million? I don't even know. Doesn't even matter. The number could be anything. As long as it's over 2 million, it's way more than enough souls than we'll ever need in the current state of the game. Yeah, I'll check it in about 6 minutes, and we should have all the battles by then. And then we're done with the main grinds, which is mainly just to get the weapon. The only other thing we'd need to do that is just do normal leveling on if we really wanted to. But we'll probably mess around with the weapon for the most part. The weapon's actually not too bad. I almost feel like switching back to Titan or something, but we can't due to the 50 gem cost. But I don't know. We won't be able to like truly test the weapon properly, but it's a really decent weapon. Probably one of the better blue weapons in the game. You put it with the charging cable. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Take that over. Why is the gem cost so high to buy 3 troops at the end of arena? It never seems like a good idea because it never is a good idea. It is an extremely ridiculously dated aspect of this game. The reason it's so high is I believe it gives it to you at level 10 or level 15 of troops. And at one point, souls used to be that rare. At one point, souls in this game were approximately, let's see, what's the math on that? I keep saying like a different number each time. Let's see, current rate's about 50,000 at highest, 20,000 to 50,000. So around 10 to 50 times. Souls are 10 to 50 times easier to obtain now than they were back when the game first launched. And a lot of the scaling on Arena is still scaled based on that. Like the first year launch of the game. But souls have become exponentially more easy to obtain since then, which is why it seems so absurdly expensive. Gems also used to be more common back then too. But the entire economy of the game has been kind of rebalanced around the lower amount, but they haven't really rebalanced Arena yet, which is why it just seems so out of proportion. They did mention an Arena rework, and there's no way they're not reworking that during that. But yeah, do be careful not to accidentally click that button. You will waste a lot of gems if you click that button. Hopefully it has a warning screen. I don't even think it has a warning screen if you end up clicking it too, which is awful. It definitely should if it doesn't. They should just remove it though. I don't think anyone clicks it deliberately. If you ever do click it, contact support, because I'm pretty sure they could undo it for you if you ever accidentally click it. Especially if you had a screenshot of it. Yeah, it would be a very easy fix. They just haven't bothered doing it. Okay, 3 more minutes, or 2 more minutes actually, and we'll go check it. Yeah, it's a trap. It's pretty much just a trap. Same as converting diamonds into souls. You should never do that ever. It's always better just to put them into mythics, or at worst, put them into legends. Everything else is just complete waste. Oh, we got mail. Oh yeah, duh. I forgot. It tells you with the mail system now when you have it done. Well, we're done. We got the weapon. That should be the weapon. Did you notice you can use blue orbs to gain class wins? Yes, though it's a gigantic waste. A small blue only gives 50 wins, which can be obtained in like 20 minutes or less. And large orbs gives you the entire thing, which can be done in like an hour, hour and a half. So there's no point ever using them. They are gigantic waste because they don't really give that much value at all. But there we go. We got the class weapon, Symbol of Anu. It's actually a pretty nice weapon. Let's go get it maxed. Let me actually go into page and go show it. But let's go get it maxed just so we show everything with it. Weapon. Oh yeah, I forgot what it's called. Anu something something. There it is, Symbol of Anu. Oh, they didn't name it Anu's symbol. I guess they learned the first time when they did that. What it looks like without the apostrophe. But anyways, let's go upgrade that, get all that. But yeah, this thing's pretty nice. It gains cleanse, 1 mana to everything, barrier, and 2 to all yellow. And also has the armor, but that's not too much. And it gains mainly magic and armor from leveling up. 2 magic and a bunch of armors, 10 armor. 4 armor per cast, cleanse, 1 to all, 2 to yellows, which means 3 to all yellows, and barrier. So, yeah, that's actually not that bad at all. I guess we'll go use it real quick. Where do I want to go? Why do we have so many Phoenicia teams here? Probably because I haven't done the video on it yet. But let's go overplace the Wall of Bones thingy. Let's go name this, now what do we want to name this? Let's name this, Test, Anu's Weapon. There we go. Let's just call it Anu's Weapon. There we go. Yeah, we'll go test this thing. I don't have a proper hero class. Proper hero class would be Titan. Not only does Titan... Well, when isn't Titan proper hero class? But Titan has half mana start, plus its blue boost ratio, as far as what we get extra magic for. So, yep, like many things, Titan is best with this weapon. Though, why would it not? Titan's best for just about everything. But anyways, let's see. What do we build this weapon around? It's an interesting concept. It's basically like Nyx, except it's random color. So it's kind of like a mix of Nyx and Rainbow Snake combined into a troop that's actually good. Well, actually, Nyx is good. Rainbow Snake is not, unfortunately. What do we do with this? I don't know what I want to build around, because it's weird because you don't know what mana it's actually going to accumulate, so you kind of have to have everything. So I guess just a Gorgotha team. Gorgotha teams generally work well with, well, everything. So, yeah, just like a standard Gorgotha Inferno or something. You can also run into Skull Spam. But then again, it's never going to create skulls. It's going to create mana. But still, I'm pretty sure most Doom Skull Spam teams normally lack blue. So that would be the filling for it. Normally it's Anu's Scepter, but you could also use Anu's symbol now. Also, I don't know why, but all the viable blue weapons have Anu in them, other than Dawnbringer. Like, if we go over every single blue weapon, there's Anu's Scepter. Okay, there's Bronze-Lock Pistol. There's Dawnbringer. There's Divine Protector. Very occasionally Doomblade. And that's pretty much it. Orb of Winter. Rope Dart. Okay, yeah, never mind. There's a lot of them. There's actually a lot more viable blues than I thought there was. I guess it's because the browns are so viable that I always forget that there actually are some stuff under other colors. Yeah, brown has Black Manacle, it has Cauldron, it has War and Peace, it has Dragon's Eye, it has Bronze-Lock Pistol, it has Flame of Fire, it has very occasionally Crown, not much though. It has Mang, it has Mountain Crusher, which is probably one of the more relevant ones. It has Skeleton Key, which is also pretty meta right now. It has Crown, and it has War and Peace, as I already mentioned, and it has Yasmin's Pride, and very occasionally Withering Touch gets used. Anyways, let's go and just fill whatever last color we need then. Probably Ketris, right? Use green, and then we can store it as the alternative damage source. So then again, Mercy. So we can go get our mana that we need for everything and just feed it up, and then just have our Drain Loop. And just do it like that. Build it like a normal, kind of like the Delve team, actually. Oh, we can get away with this. Right? That's every color? Yeah, that's every color. And we just set it to a double yellow. Don't even need to change it to anything else. Wherever double yellow is. Actually, no. Let's go double yellow. I don't want that extra brown at the cost of the possible Mercy mana. I'll go with that. I don't know. Maybe we do want that as a banner. I don't know. But we'll go with this for now. See what it can do. It's not what I want. Oh yeah, we do have to worry about stealthy, but I don't think his hero has it. Yeah, he's not currently using a hero that has it, so he should be fine. Where did I put the team? There it is, and his weapon. Okay, what can we do with this board? Not much. Let's go in nothing. Let's go in nothing. I'll just take the brown there, grab all that, get a mercy, go from there. Let's take whatever. We'll throw a red. Maybe get a drop there. Get a nice convert. Grab a yellow, all that mess. Get a Grugolfa. Things for Infernus and all that. I can't actually drain him because he has stealthy. And he's not stunned. Oh, there we go, dead. I do want to wait until they have higher mana, because we do ideally need them to be 12. We'll throw Infernus, clear that out. We'll drain the hero next turn. You just should have enough. 10, close enough. So now we'll get 10 of a random gem, apparently brown. Which kind of backfires. Luckily, Grugolfa kind of makes the colors a bunch, pretty even on the board. And then dead. That weapon actually wouldn't even be too bad in first slot, but only if you were actually using Titan. I don't know if we can really get away with it in this team. Oh no, we could replace out Grugolfa, put a different mana generator there, and run it like that, and use it as our tank. Yeah, that would actually be tanky enough. And then we just replace Grugolfa with, I don't know, what's a brown that's not hero that mana generates? I guess actually Ragnagord. Bring out the old Ragnagord. Though generally you need a +1 for him. Oh, the other banner. That'll work. Yeah, let's go Ragnagord. Ragnagord. Haven't used him for a while. It's because Mountain Crusher into Titan has made it kind of irrelevant. Because Mountain Crusher Titan is so much better than it. But you can't run that if you're running hero. Or already on something else. But yeah, we'll go with this banner. There's our +2 yellow. There's our +1 brown for the Ragnagord. And yeah, that should be everything we need. Also, for safety's sake, I guess we put the Infernus back a little bit. And yeah, that should be our team then. Actually, we probably put Ragnagord a little bit in front of Mercy, don't we? Let's see, what's his damage and everything? Yeah, why not? We'll do that. Okay, that'll be our team. We'll make sure it saves. There we go. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, we'll just take the red over. See if we have any kind of drop. Doesn't really look like it much. Yeah, I'll take a brown over. We'll do Mercy, all good. Go and get a bunch of explosions. Go and throw that down onto pretty much anywheres. Get a Mercy down. Grab a yellow to all that red. Nice little map there. Go Skolos, Furnace. Get a drain on something that has a lot. Nice little extra turn off it. On a nice even board, it should pretty much always extra turn. 12 is a lot of spawn. Oh, that's the only problem with having Ragnagord there, I forgot. I should actually have Infernus in front of the Ragnagord. Otherwise, Ragnagord's blocking his red. Yeah, this weapon's not too bad. It's much better with Titan, but it's not too bad. Are pet rescues worth doing? Kind of. Pets do make really little impact. On most pets, just getting the first copy gives you most of the value of owning a pet. So, yeah, everything beyond that doesn't really do too much. But, yeah, pets are still worth doing. Definitely at least to get one copy of each, if nothing else. But you should pretty much just keep doing them whenever you see them. If you happen to be on and there's plenty of time left to complete it, you might as well just do it if you're not doing something else. Because your stats do add up over time. While it's not a really, really big deal in most teams, like this team's gaining no benefit whatsoever from having pets, I don't think. Yeah, we don't have any synergy. So we're not gaining any benefit from pets on this particular team for the most part. Though there are some that passively work always. For example, there are the Mimic, little mini Mimic, ends up giving extra gold per battle, 5%. This is very little, but that's more than nothing. We're getting like 5% extra from the cat for EXP. We're getting 5% extra souls from the Moon. And what other thing we're getting stuff from? All those little extra masteries, which are giving us like a 0.1% higher chance of surge. We're getting from all the colored related pets. So even when you have a team that doesn't specifically use bonuses, there are still some pets that are doing something at least. Also, we just lost. Actually died to true damage, oddly enough. I think we actually do keep the Ragnargord in front because he's kind of being blocked a bit too much by Infernus. One of them is going to have to be blocked, but I guess it's better for the Ragnargord to be blocked just so we don't die. Because that was a pitiful battle. Okay, well, let's go fix that then. Let's put it back to how it was. That should be fine. I think the reason it seemed like if we weren't getting as much mana is we are converting purple to yellow, which is making it so we only really have one color for Infernus that we're actually getting off explosions. Probably why it seems like we're getting less. We're actually getting a decent amount with it set up like this. Hey, we could drain him, but it's probably better for him to have mana because it just kills itself out. Oh yeah, you need more copies of pets in order to level them, to ascend them. And there's currently no way to craft pets. That'd be kind of nice if they added a way to do it. Like maybe with excess pet food and other stuff. But I don't know, it seems kind of strange that they don't have it. And if they only have one pet of each color available each week, it'd still be better than none. Because there's no way to obtain multiple copies of pets other than... Wow, the stream just keeps dying. Stream is back. Let's see. Yeah, stream just keeps dying over and over again. I don't know what's up with it today. It's like the 5th time. But yeah, they really need to add a way to craft pets, even if it's only one per week. Or, you know, one of each color per week. Oh, she's stunned. Hey, look! This hero class did something. It stunned her, which normally has immune to mana drain. See, this class isn't useless. It actually did something proper. Also, that actually is an interesting synergy. I was kind of wondering, like, why would they add this weapon to this hero class? But it actually does have synergy because there is currently, aside from something getting blessed, there is currently no troop in the entire game that off of traits. Well, other than that indestructible trait. Okay. I guess there's a lot of caveats. But not counting indestructible, if you're just counting things that just have immune to mana drain and not counting blessed, there is no troop that actually has both immune to stun and immune to mana drain. So like all these traits that have immune to mana drain, like no immune to stun, no immune to stun, everything like that has no immune to stun. So that actually does synergize with this weapon because you stun it off of the random stun like we just did, and then we get a drain on them. So yeah, I didn't actually really think of that until we started using this weapon. But yeah, this weapon actually kind of does make sense with the hero class, since it does have that little bit of synergy there that we actually got to utilize for exactly what it was intended to be used for. I don't know how often you'd really be able to do that, but we were actually able to do that for this particular battle. That would so rarely be applicable. Plus, it's still random luck if it actually stuns the right one. Luckily, it did in that case. And hopefully we'll stun the Yagwe this time so we can drain him. I should have done on green. Whoops. Not that big a difference, though. Okay, I'll get another explosion down, throw it down onto like yellow or something, get all that rolling, go throw a mana drain on something that's relevant. Unfortunately, he's not stunned yet, so we can't throw it on him. Hero's gonna die. Hero is so bad at tanking, even with 40% score reduction. Luckily gains barrier off of that, but still doesn't make much of a difference. Gonna die next turn. You know what, we'll try. Oh no, I can't even blue surge because we don't have a +1 on blue. We can go explode all the blues though. Not sure if that's gonna help. Oh, I should have mercied. We could have gotten a cast possibly. Oh well. Hero will die here. Yep, randomly off the skull. Throw the Infernus down. Yeah, it's an interesting weapon. We'll need Titan to really be able to use it properly though. But yeah, I'll mess around with it probably. Actually, I don't know if I'll be switching to Titan tomorrow. I actually have no need to other than messing around with the weapon. Because I do want to try leveling this hero class a little bit further. Even if we don't really intend to use it, just to have it for when we do need it. Oh, that reminds me. Did the kingdom actually increase in star level? I actually forget. Because most kingdoms are missing their hero class these days. So whenever a new hero class comes in, that could potentially be more stars. I didn't even bother checking the kingdom. Double checking if it would. Yeah, it does. It does gain another star. Oh, yeah, it's now 9 starable, whereas it was only 8 before. I should have checked that earlier. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, it is now possible to have 9-star Leonis Empire. Can't go any higher than that because it's missing a troop. But yeah, it is now possible to 9-star, and that ended up giving us a triple tribute chance, which is pretty nice. Now the tribute is way higher than it would normally be, at a 36% chance. Yeah, that'll help with our hourly tributes. Not a great deal, but it adds up when we keep getting higher and higher percents for all of them, particularly when it's tribute chance and not tribute reward. Tribute chance is way better because that will give us more gold keys and more gems. Mainly the fact that it gives more gems is what makes it better. But tribute reward also is nice, just not as good. It's because it just increases this. Whereas the chance not only increases technically this, since it has a higher chance of us getting it, but it also gives us, as I mentioned, gold keys and gems if we get multiple at once. And obviously every tribute, we're pretty much getting multiple at once. I don't even know if it's possible for us to get 0. Or it is, but it'd be very ridiculously unlikely. No, you do not have to equip pets. All pets automatically take effect every battle you do. Most battles, they don't really do much, though, because they really are... most of the effects of pets only take place if you use specific team synergies. But yes, every pet is always active in every battle you do. So more often than not, that doesn't make much of an impact on most battles. Just because if you're not using a pure team of any kind, you're not really gaining any benefit from any pet, other than just the really standard ones, like the ones that give extra resources or a little bit extra mastery and stuff like that. Those are the only ones that are really going to affect most battles if you're not specifically building teams around them. Oh no, stealthy! Oh no! No! Stealthy, why you gotta do that to us? We only get 2 gem spawns. Surprisingly, one of them still landed, though. Oh, why'd I do that? I should have just exploded. Back-to-back bad moves. But I'll surrender Furnace here. Get a Mercy into that. It's still in place. Kind of. Nope, never mind. Alright, we got a Mercy. Grab a... yeah, we'll go for another Infernus. Also, that's stunned now, so we could actually target it, but don't need to. He's going to Core Vash drain us, most likely. Yep. Oh, there goes all of our mana. And then he'll Weaver us, but we can easily win with just Infernus. Even with the reduced damage, it's still enough to kill. Let's see. Oh no! But that won't change. That does affect Ragnargord, though. I forgot. He's really dependent on that magic. There we go. I don't know why, I always keep thinking he explodes all of a certain gem type, where he technically does, because of how high his magic is. If he's webbed or magic reduced, he will explode a lot less. He's not like a Amnesia, where he ends up getting a gigantic amount, or he explodes all of them each time. That's not what he does. While that's in theory what he does, if he loses his magic, he doesn't do it anymore. Oh, we got the event done as well. There's all the 9 event keys, and some defend rewards, and I still haven't done PvP tiers, sadly. But they're almost done. But yeah, let's go actually just use a normal team, I guess. using still same hero class, but normal team. Stop with the weapon for now. Just use like key team or something. Oh no, Gnome Glitch was patched last month, sometime last month. Okay, let's see. Go throw that down. The key down and dead. Oh, yes! Code! Thank you. Let me do that. I completely forgot. I could get that right now. Wouldn't be the first time, though. And I do generally forget. Like, that's not me even just, like, trying to delay it or anything. That is just me being that forgetful. Let's see, put that there, put that there. That there, that there, that there, that there, boom. Okay, it works. Put it into there, copy, copy, paste, paste. And there you guys go, there's redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. Your invite code is found, let's see, where is it? Oh no. Oh, there it goes. Whoa, what was that? But your invite code is found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your game says there is what you put in. Redeem code is that random mess of numbers and letters over there. Just copy paste it or type it out. Probably copy paste it. And if you click that link or go to gemsofwar.com underneath game code section, you just put all that in and give the same reward as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, and 2,500 gold. Works on every platform except for the 2 console versions. Let's take, oh no, it's Dragon's Eye team. I never want to fight Dragon's Eye team. It is really annoying. It's easy enough to win against if you actually bothered switching your team. But, oh no, it's still annoying. Still annoying to deal with. The amount of time the battle normally takes just isn't worth it. Because if it hits some kind of important troop, it just really slugs things down. Oh, gained another level on hero. Yep, I didn't go for the firebomb. It automatically, whenever I spam click that, it actually default takes whatever battle I previously had it set to. So it ended up doing the middle battle, because that's the one we previously did. So it keeps going back to the middle until I manually click over to the other one. You can move it with controller, but if I just keep clicking that button, it's going to just go into whatever one we were in previously. I don't know, maybe we do keep doing 2 trophies. Key team's a lot better against a lot of 2 trophy stuff. Just because we don't see any of those like super absurd troll teams most of the time. Doesn't mean they don't appear, but this has slightly lower stats and kill range, and it just has less of the really, really annoying teams. Yeah, those random stuns. They're not really doing much, but they're helpful, I guess. Never know, they might get some kind of additional effect that we'll actually need. Of actually disabling something. After hero patch, if we set, say, Titan in defense, will we be able to use another hero with attack without defense hero changing? Yes, that is correct. Starting next patch, you can set your defend to whatever you want, and you can set your invasion to whatever you want, and they will not conflict with each other. And you can set it per team too. So for example, we could set this team as Titan, but then we can go set some other team as, let's say, Priest. And then some other team as Titan again, and then another one as, like, Rune Priest or something, I don't know. Just too many priests. There's priest, there's rune priest, and there's Warpriest now. But yeah, you can set them as whatever. And you would be able to use multiple at once. Well, you know, not like literally in the same battle. But you could have one different one for your hero, or for your guild war defend, while simultaneously having a different one for your defend for PvP, while having a different one while you're invading. So, yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice. Oh, no wonder why I'm not doing 3 trophies. The second I go to it, we go instantly into the meta. Of course. It's kind of to be expected, though. Most people this late in the game are going to be running the most overpowered things in the game. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. Oh, rip. Oh, no, no, no. Don't rage quit. Just retreat from the battle. There are also people in late game do stuff like this, too. And set like really ridiculously easy teams so people would actually invade them more so they get more resources from revenge. Which is slightly cheating the system, but it's not bannable, so people do it. They haven't bothered fixing it for the entire history of this game, so it's been more broken at other times than others. Right now it's probably pretty broken still. Not as broken, but I don't know. It was more broken before they did the matchmaking thing, because before the matchmaking thing you could find the exact same team like a dozen times in a row. So 4 times Firebomb and 4 times of like what we just saw and stuff like that were pretty popular. Oh, glad you could catch us live, traders. And no problem for the code. Yeah, generally if you catch the code after the stream, it's almost always going to be dead. Unless I accidentally give it out like right at the end of the stream, it's pretty much going to be dead every single time when it actually gets uploaded. Because most of the time it doesn't actually render out until at least a few hours to like 12 hours after the fact. Depending on how YouTube is feeling at the time. Like this stream right now, even though we're going to be ending around like 1 PM or so, it probably won't be up until anywhere from like 4 until 10, somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, we'll just keep doing middle. It's a nice mix of stuff that's still somewhat hard while still being easy. Or at least easy enough that we die down to this team in a farmable rate. Gonna take that red just so he doesn't. Is Warpriest worth it? Kind of. It's a really weird hero class. Overall, I'd say no. Very, very, very rarely would you ever bring it out. And the only times you'd ever really bring it out is if you specifically need it stunned for whatever reason. Biggest thing holding it back is not having a half mana start. Also, its trees are pretty bad. Its traits are amazing. The problem is its trees just aren't that good at all. And also has a really decent weapon too. Definitely get the weapon at minimum, if nothing else. I don't mean like buy the weapon with gems. You could go and just farm it like we did. We did it in under 2 hours. Took like an hour and a half or so. But yeah, definitely get the weapon at least, if nothing else. And right now we're technically leveling it. Want to try getting it to about 40 if we can. Not that big a deal if we don't. The only other time it really gains much of a benefit though is at 70. And the 100, like most 100s, are pretty useless on this one. Oh no, the lag screen! Hello Azar, welcome. Let's see, did I even set the level 20 perk? I don't think I did yet. I feel like I didn't. Where's class? Let's see. Oh, no, I did. Oh, yeah, the 10% extra XP. Actually, I should probably set that to +1 glory since we're doing PvP now. Better just to have the 1 glory than the 10% EXP. I don't know. Maybe we go for EXP. Oh, no. They're both equally as bad. But technically, if we're doing PvP, we might as well have the glory, though. 2 all skills in first slot. 3 attack when an enemy dies. All troops gain 4 armor. Those are pretty bad. It does then gain Enrage, which isn't bad, and then the one little yellow if it wants. And then all three of these are bad. But yeah, it just does not gain good perks at all. Like, it would be nice to have that +1 yellow, but that's about it. That's about the only thing it has. It has that and the 2 life to everything. Other than that, every single one of these is pretty much useless. And I guess these 2 are okay if you want specific resources, but there's already other hero classes, I believe, that have that synergy. But yeah, all of its value is like right here. 2 to a random skill to all allies at the start of battle. That's not horrible. 40% scroll mitigation. That's tied at highest of any hero class. The other one is Dragon Guard. I would say Dragon Guard is better than this, though. And it has stun. It's the only hero class that can stun automatically. It's also one of the only troops in the game that can even stun automatically, which is one of the main points of value that it has. Pretty much one of its only points of value that it has. Oh no, I just went right into a... I saw Amnesia there thinking it was something weak. Apparently not. It should be fine, though. Only big issue is we're going to lose 1 troop immediately. As long as it's not key, we should be fine. Okay, I didn't cast it yet, so that's good. Get our kill, get the other kill. That's weird. It kind of like a delayed kill. Oh good, he hit first slot. That has no effect on anything. Out of anything he could have hit, that was the least consequential one. That's really lucky. Oh, we can just kill it right there. There we go. Oh, that was a really smooth Dragon's Eye team. As far as killing it. Pure luck if it goes smooth or not, though. Well, we don't have to wait too much longer for the free hero class changes. It's right around the corner. It's potentially next week sometime. No official date has been given, but they're doing the preview next Monday. And generally, if they're doing a preview, the patch is coming very, 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 very soon after. Could literally be after the stream. Which would make sense, because that would even be before Guild Wars, too. You lose this. It's not gonna be enough damage. Okay, now let's grab all of our reds. Let's get off the board. Nice. Not enough mana to do anything though, but that's enough to kill. I think we actually do lose though. Mainly because of this hero. He's almost gonna AoE kill us. Let's see. Almost. Not quite. Really close, though. And he regained barrier. I think we just lost. Come on, Titan. Stop being so good. Stop being so much better than everything. Yeah, we don't even have any way to get rid of that that barrier easily. And he just won. We lost! Kaki almost just lost to solo Dawnbringer. I guess technically Furnace did quite a bit of damage, too. Sad. Anyways, middle battle. Biggest thing holding this team back is the lack of half mana start. Really every hero class that doesn't have half mana start, they're already at a really big penalty. There's only a few hero classes that are ever super relevant that don't have a half mana start. That is Necromancer when soul farming, because you don't need mana. Dragon Guard, just because of dragon teams, is also the best skull mitigation related hero class. Even better than the one that just came out today. And there's Assassin, and that's just because it's so good with skulls. And those are the only things that don't have fast that are even remotely relevant as hero classes. Pretty much every other one that doesn't is just useless. In most situations. Well, most of them do have a 50% troop. Like this one has the Holy Saint, what's her name, Astra. The other one, like Warden, has Forest Guardian. The biggest issue with them is they have full dependency on that troop in order to work. Get that down. Grab a nothing. Grab a nothing. Skulls will just do it for us. Wait, Plague Lord. Are we actually getting a troop called Plague Lord? That's kind of funny, because there was a Plague Lord in Puzzle Quest as well. For the expansion of Puzzle Quest 1. It's a really, really long title. Let's see. Puzzle Quest, Champion of the Warlords, Revenge of the Plague Lord is the full title of that game. Let's see. And we have done a full playthrough of it as well on this channel. It was made by the same developers as Gems of War ages ago, like over a decade ago. It's actually probably the best game they've ever made. Like, I would almost consider it better than Gems of War. Just because it has a lot more of that RPG element than Gems of War has. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Plague Lord. Why is this page broken? Let me click refresh. This page is so broken right now. Okay. It's still broken. Why is it not loading properly? There we go. Let's see. Is there actually a Plague Lord coming to the game? There is. Oh no, Plague Rat. No, there's no Plague Lord. Aw. We are getting a Plague Rat though. Let's get that out of here. Boom, boom. Minimize that. Where were we? Grab our gold. Grab our gold. Our XP. How high did I get the new class? Tier 0. We're actually not doing the tiers for once. As far as actual leveling, I think we have it at 24 right now, I want to say. 24 or 25. Probably 24. I'm in no rush to get this thing upgraded. But we do currently have it at 24. Though I'm not in any rush, I do want to get some of it upgraded, just so we don't have to do it later.
Mana surge.
And also because we'll be showing it for the video. Oh, I think I need more copies of the Griffin. I think we still need 6 more copies of it. Or 7. Yeah, we need 6 until it gets exact, 7 until it's 1 over. Have I ever played D&D or any tabletop RPG? I've never played D&D. I have played some kind of, but for the most part, the answer to that is no. The most simplest answer is just no. I have had friends that did, but none that I've ever actually bothered playing with. I never actually bothered playing it. What was I about to go check? Something with Warpriest. No, it wasn't. Wait, now I forgot what I was gonna go do. Fail. Let's see. Oh, no, sorry. It's a troop type. I mean, it's a hero class, not a thing. My bad. Oh, is that coming to Darkstone? Is that the Darkstone one that's finally coming that's giving Darkstone its stars? Okay, why am I completely forgetting what I wanted to check? Fail. It wasn't too important, though, whatever it was. Oh, yes, Griffin count. Thank you. Aha! Oh, we're only 1 away. Well, we're definitely doing it. Griffin time. Wow, I have such short-term memory. That's going to be really, really bad later in life. It is somewhat also because I'm streaming and focusing on multiple things at once, but, I don't know, even day to day, I sometimes have those, like, weird moments where I just completely forget what on earth I was doing. It's going to be really bad in, like, 30 years from now. Hey, level 25. Also, these are, pet battles are insanely good EXP, particularly the first 4, is how quickly they go down. Yeah, there's so many squirrels. Distracting squirrels. Very distracting squirrels. Hello, Kevin. Welcome. I'm pretty sure my forum title is still the one who mispronounces. Salty ended up setting that up ages ago. Let's see, we'll go grab that. Grab a brown there. How's everything 1 mana short? Let's see. Let's take a skull over. Go hit a bigger one. We'll grab a right up there. He'll hit us with Snow Skull. Kill with all that. Oh, how did that not double kill? Here, have a hit. And then we'll double kill those two. Also, anyone who's just getting here, I'm pretty sure the code's still active. Make sure to double check that. Hopefully it still is. Otherwise, we'll have another one later tonight. In 7 hours from now. Or more like 8 hours by the time we actually hand it out on tonight's stream. Okay, I'll throw the hit on him. Boom, boom. And let's kill it. This is such a weird team without the half mana start on it. This team always runs with half mana start on first slot, one way or another. Or at least 40% if you're using Divine. No, I wouldn't really bother using the new hero class for Explorer. Well, unless you're trying to power level it. It doesn't have half mana start, so it's not particularly good for Explorer. It'd be a great way to level it, but it's there's definitely better options. Literally anything with half mana start would be a better option. But yeah, this is guaranteed Griffin Max, which isn't too relevant, but Guild Wars is next week, and that is one additional armor for Yellow Day. Well, it's not a lot. That could be the difference between dying and not dying. And many times we've survived one durability, which means our one extra stat ends up saving us. But yeah, does anyone else have any other questions or anything you want me to go over? Let me know. Otherwise, after this griffling and probably a few more PvP battles, I will start wrapping up for now. And as I mentioned, we will be back later tonight, same time as always. About 7.5 hours from now, later tonight. And for now, I'm probably just going to go for a walk, relax a bit, and then record all the things we need to record. Mainly the one going over this hero class, specifically. Various teams for and stuff like that. For the most part, you wouldn't really use it outside of the Saint. I keep forgetting her name. Holy Saint Astra. Outside of her, you wouldn't really use her in many teams, or you wouldn't really use this hero class in many teams. About one of the only good things it synergizes with. Kind of like how you would never really use Warden outside of Forest Guardian. Kind of like one of those setups where it's pretty much fully dependent on the troop in order to actually be viable. I will try for the brown off the Cascade there. Grab a yellow. Grab nothing. Why is everything so bad? Let's take the green for now. Not really anything that's going to help us much though. Especially since we don't have half mana start. But we'll take the purple there, get our Surge. So is the free hero class change for sure? No, it is 100% happening next patch. There is a 100% chance it will occur. It's not a if it will happen, it is a it will happen. Any recommendations for the class event team? The strongest team you can run is Dawnbringer with 3 Falconers. Alternatively, you can run Mang with 3 Falconers if you don't own Dawnbringer. And that's pretty much the entirety of the event. For the earlier battles, though, you'd want to go Summer's Fury or something else, though. Some kind of other red weapon if you don't have Dawnbringer, obviously. But you would eventually want to switch into Mang. You have an odd question. I like any question, so feel free. When doing the game with Steam, is your account your Steam stuff, or do you set it up separately? Nope, it's just my normal Steam account. The one I always use for everything. Though these days, as far as Steam, I haven't actually really been doing much on Steam lately. I've mainly just been doing Gems of War. Like, I've barely been playing any other games on Steam. Like, pretty much none. Actually, if I go on my page, I'm pretty sure it doesn't even show I've played any for like a month or so. It's been ages. but it's mainly because I got a Nintendo Switch, so all my indie titles, like I used to buy all my indie titles just on PC and stuff, but now if I need any, I just get them on Switch, assuming that it's released on Switch, because it's just a lot more convenient to travel with that and move around and just better on it in general. Let's see. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my Steam account. That's not where I would check for that. Let's see. Click on profile. I want to check how many hours we have. He just keeps going higher. We're almost at the 10,000 milestone. Yeah, it's been ages. Wow, August 12th was the last time I played something that wasn't Gems of War on Steam. I didn't even realize it was that long. Wow, that's quite a bit of time. But yeah, 7,536 hours, and that's not even the actual total. That's just the amount of time we have on this particular account. But yeah, we're 2,500 hours away from 10,000 hours in this game. Though if you count literally everything I've ever done within this game, including like videos and stuff, it's definitely been over 10,000. But it's a lot of time. Let's go do this real quick before I forget later on. And then we'll just do a little bit of PvP, and that'll be that. Mainly just want to hit 1.9k if we haven't already. Get that down out of the way already. Already, it's Friday and I still don't even have it done. Lately I haven't been trying to get it done quickly though. You can very easily get it done on Monday if I actually tried. I just normally don't bother. Doesn't make that big a difference. I think it gives you a little bit more glory each day. But that is going to make such a small difference to a stack of over 1 million. Getting like maybe 10 more glory per day or so. For a few days. What do we take here? All of it looks bad. We'll try for the extra turn. Didn't get it, but luckily we cascaded a double cascade into the red we needed. Somehow still don't have key because it didn't start with half mana. Pretty much if we ever don't have mana, just blame it on not starting with half mana. There we go. Oh, didn't click. And that's the easy dungeons, as they always are. Still worth doing, though. You never know when diamonds are going to be viable, or those jewels, or anything in general related to Soulforge crafting resources. We definitely have more than enough, that's for sure. It's what they currently look like as far as our stacks. We actually have enough to craft... how many mythics can we craft? Let's see. We have 2,110 more than whatever that number says. It's not going to be enough to actually craft another mythic, I don't think. Let's see. What's that divided by 4,000? That is math. Yeah, it's not enough to craft another one. So whatever number it says here is how many we can actually craft. We can currently craft 8 mythics, almost 9. That is a lot of mythics. How many is that? That's like 1/3 of the mythics in the game, isn't it? Almost. We can almost craft 1/3 of the game of mythics. Plus, we've actually crafted mythics before. I've crafted a 4 versatility just for the sake of it, and I think I crafted one other thing at one point. I think it was a second Ubisted or something else. Maybe it was a second Megavore. I actually don't even remember. No, actually, I think we got both the Megavores manually. Pretty sure we crafted something else other than just a 4th Ferrous though. And there's no actual point in having 4 Ferrous. I just wanted to have it. Also, it makes for pretty fun thumbnails whenever I do a soul video, because it's impossible to have over 1,000 souls without doing that. That or you'd have to have a ridiculously high VIP. But realistically, you would need 4 Ferrous to have over 1,000 souls per battle. It's not actually viable to run, but it is pretty funny to see a number that shows 1,000 souls per battle. But anyways, let's finish out PvP, which I think I still haven't done yet. Should almost be right on top of it, though. Well, you don't really need too much more than 1. Well, you never need more than 2. If you have 2 Ferrous, that's the most you ever need. The biggest benefit of Ferrous is the difference between 0 and 1. But there's still a decent benefit between 1 and 2. But everything beyond that isn't really much of a change. 3 is about the same as 2, and 4 is about the same as 2. Not exactly, but there's such a small, trivial difference between them that you might as well just never get more than 2. Fairish Raws, unless you just happen to randomly get more. And we should only need 2 more battles then. Actually, we'll only need 1 more battle. Let's go take out this team. Oh wow, that's actually a pretty weak team. I was expecting that to be Yagway meta. Yeah, it's used in some kind of weird elf team. Why on earth is he using pure elf? He's getting extra stats off it though because of the elf bonus pet thing. Wait, actually, is there even a pet that gives elf bonus? There's still so many types that are missing it. It's gonna be ages until they finally all get in because how slow they add pets. It's like we only get a new one that gives stats every few months. It's supposed to be like every month, but lately they've been like cosmetic ones constantly, which are pretty useless because, well, they're cosmetic. Not to mention, cosmetic ones don't even come into the drop table. They just come in during the seasons. Though we haven't gotten a repeat on any of them yet, but we will soon. I think the first repeat one will be 4th of July, if I'm not mistaken, so it's still a while, several months away. Ah, there we go. Tier 1. Ah, we finally got it. Claim our last little bit of reward. You never crafted any and you have 6 of them? Oh, wow. That's a lot of Fairish Raw. We do have 8 copies of a mythic that we've never crafted before. Let's do it based on base rarity. Let's see. Our highest should be Plague, who I believe we have 8 copies of. Let's see. How many do we have more than 4 copies of? Plague, we have 8. Sacred Treasure doesn't count, but also it's not even higher. You know what? It might just be Plague. There's quite a few that I have 4 copies of. But yeah, as far as more than 4 copies, the only mythic in the entire game I have more than 4 copies of is Plague, of which we have 8. And that's the most copies of any mythic I have. Yeah, just Plague. Nothing else. We do have several at 4+, though. We have Uryali, which is useless. Guard's Avatar, which is useless, as far as using multiple in a team. Fairish Raw, which is really hilarious, using 4. Plague, pretty useless, using 4. Queen Aurora, pretty hilarious, using 4. Stonehammer, pretty much the most useless team in the game, using 4. Though that would technically be the highest skull mitigation you could ever have. 4 Stonehammers, 80% reduction, and immune to stun. That would actually be pretty funny. If someone tried using Skull Spam Team against it, it would still kill, especially if they used a Doom Skull version of it. But if someone was just to use standard Skull Spam Team against 4 Stonehammers, actually, you know what? Just for fun. I want to do it. We haven't changed our defend team for a while. Let's see, Stonehammer. There we go, okay. And I want to set my banner to be minus so he never casts. I want him taking skulls and stuff, I guess. Let's see. I want this banner to be as anti this team as possible. So I need a banner that doesn't give any pluses to what we have while also giving a minus to what we have. Trying to find a banner that does that. Well, first I need to try finding a minus that's actually correlating to the colors that we have. No. Come on, why do they keep giving a +1 to something we have? There has to be some banner that has it. It's gonna take too long to find, though. I guess the banner we're using right now is fine. We have -1 and +1, and that's it. Oh well, that's good enough. Oh, that's our new PvP defense. 4 Stonehammers. Let's see if someone tries skull spamming against it. But anyways, guys, for now, I'm going to be heading out. Does anyone have any last-minute questions before I head out? Yeah, Megavore should be rolling around the drop table in the next few weeks. He hasn't been in for a while. So yeah, he should be right around the corner. Possibly even next week, who knows. But yeah, Megavore should be craftable very, very soon. Actually, isn't Fairish Raw craftable this week? But that's going to be somewhat unfortunate. 2 really good crafts back-to-back. That does tend to happen. But I would say Fairish Raw is better, though. Just really good soul farming. Definitely highly advised. If you have 4,000 diamonds and don't have a Fairish Raw by the end of this week, you should definitely get a Fairish Raw, because he's really nice. Great for soul farming if you haven't done the Dawnbringer grind. And even if you have done the Dawnbringer grind, if you haven't done the get all souls to have everything leveled grind, it's also pretty good for that. And the sooner you have it, the better. Can you raid Soda Gaming? Would make your day? Who is Soda Gaming? I'm not sure. Normally we don't ever raid. Like, we basically never do raiding for the most part. I kind of just do my thing and then we stop. We have like very occasionally in the past, and sometimes we raid Salty because she actually does the game. But I don't know, who's Soda Gaming? Never heard of that one. Must be a smaller channel of some kind. Let me see. We might as well. Let's see. Soda Gaming, YouTube. It is on YouTube, right? Because it wouldn't really make much sense to just try raiding someone on Twitch. Let's see. Is he actually even streaming right now? I don't see his stream. He's not even streaming right now, so unfortunately I cannot. Unless I'm missing it, but I don't see his stream. It's not coming up. Let's see. Oh, that's why it's not coming up. Let's see. We'll try that one. But yeah, might as well. Might as well make someone's day. Let's see. I still don't see his stream. Let's see, I'll click on his channel. Oh, yeah, he's doing Fortnite right now. Yeah, might as well. I've never actually played Fortnite yet. Yeah, go see his stream real quick. Say hi to him. Let's see, let me go get the link for it. There he is. Oh, this should be the right one. I believe it is. Let's see. Yeah, there you guys go. There's the link. Might as well. Go raid him. Go just say hi. No specific thing. Let's see. What's the Fairish Raw team? Oh, there's several different Fairish Raw teams. But the main Fairish Raw team is, if you're running it for PvP, it's Mountain Crusher, Dragon Soul, Fairish Raw into Worldbreaker. Or sorry, Worldbreaker into Fairish Raw. Well, I guess it doesn't matter the order. Same difference. But yeah, Mountain Crusher, Dragon Soul, Worldbreaker, Fairish Raw is what you would run if you run it PvP related. If you're running it for Souls, the team you run is First Challenge Divinian Fields on Warlord 2 difficulty, running Dragon Soul into Fairish Raw, Azurus, Umberwolf. Or if you have two Fairish Raws, it is Dragon Soul, double Fairish Raw, Umberwolf. Alternatively, if you don't have Umberwolf fully traded, or if you want to level up the Necromancer hero class or any hero class that has a Purple Storm, you can use any hero class that has a Purple Storm in place of Umberwolf, and it's basically the same thing, plus you'll gain hero EXP onto whatever hero has that Purple Storm. So you can also get some hero EXP out of it, since you're not really getting too many other resources. But yeah, that's basically what you would run. And they are the quickest soul farming teams in the game. One Fairish Raw version's anywhere from like 30 to 40,000 souls, give or take. And double Fairish Raw could potentially do up to about 50,000 or so. I haven't done recent testing, but I believe it's somewhere around there these days. It's pretty high how many you can get when you're fully focusing on it. It's the highest rate you could ever really get in the game, other than running like 3 or 4. But I think 3 is like the absolute most you could ever get. I still haven't thoroughly tested if Dragon Soul Triple Fairish Raw is quicker. There's basically 3 teams that could potentially be the absolute quickest. They all require 3 though. But it's Triple Fairish Raw Valkyrie, Dragon Soul Triple Fairish Raw, and Dragon Soul Double Fairish Raw Umberwolf. I have not actually tested which one is absolute best extensively enough to have definitive data, but they all seem close enough that really any of those would be fine. And since one of those only uses 2, most people tend to only go for 2 and just go Dragon Soul Double Fairish Raw Umberwolf or hero with Purple Storm. And that's generally considered the best soul farming team in the game. And you just run it First Challenge Divinian Fields. You can do it in other locations too, but if you're running Dragon Soul versions, it has the lowest durability and it just happens to work best. But there are other locations you can do, particularly if you're using like Valkyrie Fairish Raw version. You can do basically any battle in the entire game, it's just going to one-shot them. Which allows you to set the difficulty up quite a bit higher. You can set it actually to Warlord 3, assuming you have enough skull damage. You crafted Queen Aurora this week. Should you have crafted Fairish Raw instead? Kind of. If you don't plan on doing soul farming anytime soon, it's fine. You do eventually want to get a Fairish Raw. But no, Queen Aurora is still a really nice troop. You use it for Guild Wars, you use it for Delves, and pretty much anywhere where it has a color restriction, you use it for Tower of Doom. It's still a really nice troop to have. I would say Fairish Raw is a little bit better to have. But you do actually, ironically, use Queen Aurora more often than Fairish Raw, even though it's not as useful. But that's mainly because a lot of endgame content can use her pretty well. But yeah, it's mainly just Guild Wars, Delves, and Tower of Doom. That's the only thing you tend to use Queen Aurora for, but she's pretty good in all 3 of those, assuming she's capable of being used. She's really defensive, she gives a lot of mana accumulation, and just makes those game modes a little bit easier for the most part. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and a good weekend. We'll be back, as I mentioned, about 7 hours from now, and we'll be just messing around with, well, more of the hero class. And we should have a video up between then, hopefully. As long as I don't run into some unexpected plans, I should be able to get that video out before tonight's stream. Just going over everything with the new hero class. Of course, most of you have probably seen it during the stream, but I do just want to go over extensively, show a couple of various teams, and, you know, just some normal stuff whenever a new hero class comes out. Anyways, guys, enjoy the new hero class. Hope you all have fun, and I will see you all later. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for stopping by.